What is up, Barnhill family? Welcome back to another Barnhill Brothers live stream. This week it's UFC Sacramento. So we have had some good fights so far, a lot of finishes, a lot of fun stuff that has happened on the prelims, and hopefully the main card will deliver as well. I'm Stephen Barnhill. I'm going to be here with you all evening, calling all of the fights on the main card, giving our thoughts. We will have timers up on the screen so you know where we are if you want to lock your TV in with mine and enjoy the fights together. So yeah, we'll wait for some folks to get into the chat here. Based Volk, what's up, man? How you doing tonight? First one in the chat, as always, my friend. I just talked to Nick about 5 minutes ago, and he is getting himself together. He took a little snooze on the couch, and he's going to be here for the main card. He says he's getting here before the heavyweights open the show, so we'll see. But he will be here. I won't be doing this solo tonight. What's up, Elton? How you doing, my friend? Thank you for joining the live stream. Good to have you guys in here again. What did everybody think of the first few fights on the prelims? I'm just pulling up Tapology right now to run through them real quick. So Chanel Dyer, she was one of my heavy favorite picks. Definitely took some action on her to win by knockout. She took out Elise Reed by KO. Could have been stopped in the second round. Honestly, the corner of Elise Reed was asking her if she wanted to continue. And it didn't seem like she really gave a concise answer, but time expired and she went back out there for a few minutes and got starched. So probably should have stopped it after the second. And what's up, Moneyball? Hey, thanks so much. How are you enjoying UFC Sacramento? Good call on the Dorsonville pick, by the way, Moneyball. I didn't know enough about him to take action on him and to pick him, but that was definitely a pretty solid pick on your part. And yeah, let us know how are you enjoying the show? How's the energy in Sacramento live? Thanks for tuning in all the way in California at the event in person and still in the Barnhill Brothers live stream. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Did you throw that up on the screen, Chris? Awesome. Had Shamil KO was that Shamil KO was awesome. Yeah, I had Kennedy in that fight, man. So it was a surprise to me. I thought Kennedy had the range and he tends to win by knockout. And when Shamil loses, he loses by knockout. I kind of miscalculated on that one, but all in all, fun while it lasted. Shamil is back on track. So let's see here. I have a little bit of an echo in my ear there from my computer. But yeah, guys, I put a poll up in the chat. Who wins the opener? Either Anthony Wint or Terrence Chapman. Both guys are actually Fury alumni, which is a local Houston promotion. They're out of, Houston is the main place, but they're in Dallas, San Antonio. I think they've even done some shows in Austin and stuff like that. And Anthony Wint and Terrence Chapman have both fought multiple fights on Fury FC. So it'll be interesting to see them scrap. And then, Jackson McVeigh, Wes Schultz, second fight of the night. Again, a knockout, this one in the first round. Jackson McVeigh, he either wins the fight by knockout in the first round or he loses the fight. It's kind of nothing in between. And then Stan the Man Dorsonville taking on Gage Young, which was that's been my fight of the night so far. That one was really back and forth, a lot of action. That one was really fun. And then, of course, Mauricio Barbosa with that monstrous left hook that landed on the top of the head of Ryan Coos, but it was just like all she wrote at that point. I love Barbosa's style because he's very aggressive with the striking. He doesn't rush to follow you to the ground when he knocks you down. He'll let you get back up, and then he'll punish you again with more big strikes. He's got a lot of power, really believes in his power, and I think he's going to be a fun one to watch. Taco Padilla and Nasrat Haskapass was an interesting fight. Taco getting the submission, definitely the oddest finish of the fight. The bell rang and Nasrat went to sleep kind of all simultaneously, but ultimately they called it a third round submission, arm triangle, because Nasrat was out when the bell rang. And then, of course, you guys mentioned it, but Shamil with that first round knockout. And then Jamal Emmers knocking out Leahy and Douglas in the first round. That one was one I didn't really have on my card. I thought Leahy and Douglas was going to win. So what is that? Yeah, only one decision so far, and that fight was exciting. It was like the most exciting fight. So really good way to start the Sacramento card. It was an odd finish, but also probably a good one. Yeah, definitely. I had Nasrat 2 rounds up, so I thought he would have won. Yeah, that's the thing too, is like I didn't see what the judges' scorecards were, but I'd love to know. I don't think they showed them on the screen. Maybe if they did, maybe I missed it. But what did the judges have that fight going into the third? Because literally saved by the bell is the term. If 2 judges had it for Nasrat and then Taco pulls that that last minute submission out of his belt, it's was definitely a game changing and timely maneuver in the very, very last second of the fight. So it's going to be interesting. We got 2 votes in the chat so far. Who wins the opener? No surprise, both people taking Anthony Wint. Terrence Chapman's a pretty good fighter, and he's big. I think he weighed in at 266, so he definitely had to cut a few pounds, fought recently on Fury. But the reality is Anthony Wint is like a specimen. This guy played college football, played in the NFL. He's a really, really high-level athlete, and if what he did on Contender Series is any indication, he should walk through Terrence Chapman. But they do have a common opponent. Let me
quickly just say, this is interesting to Base's point. The judges had it 2 rounds for Padilla.
Okay, so Chris is saying that the judges had it 2 rounds for Padilla, so he would have won anyways. But you know, 2 rounds for Nasrat is not a bad take either. I mean, that was a close fight. But there was a guy. What was his name? Let me see. Okay, Omar El Salal, and that was back in March of 2025. This guy went split decision with Anthony Wint, and he was nuked by Terrence Chapman in his next fight in 21 seconds. So, you know, if you want to get into the MMA math, Terrence Chapman definitely has the better of the common opponents there with a 21-second knockout compared to a split decision. Take that for what you will. I typically don't like to do MMA math because it always tends to bite me in the butt. Let's see here. Yeah, base it. Oh, then it really didn't matter. Then they were close rounds except the third. Yeah, exactly. Maverick 77 Defender. What's up? Thank you so much for joining the chat. Robocop. Are you asking Gregory Rodrigues Robocop? Yes. He is the main event tonight against Fluffy Hernandez, but I picked Fluffy to win. I think Anthony is going to drag Robocop into deep waters, and I think he's going to win the fight by technical knockout in the 4th round. Was my, if I recall from my Thursday predictions with Moneyball, 4th round technical knockout for Fluffy. Robocop could definitely end it early, but as the fight goes on, definitely going to favor Hernandez, and I like him to get it done by TKO late. So we're seeing the highlight reels and the interviews of Terrence Chapman and Anthony Wint. So if you're just popping into the live stream and you haven't put your vote down for who you think is going to win the opener, drop it below. I'll end it just before the fight starts, and we'll see what everybody's thinking. We got 17 in the chat so far. Thank you guys all for being here. Last week was our craziest live stream ever. We did over 38,000, I think, total views. And I think at one point when Islam and Ian were fighting, we had 1,000 people concurrent in the chat. So it was by far the biggest chat we've ever had. And thank you to all of you. A lot of you, Base and Elton. I know for sure both of you guys were in there. So thanks so much for being there. And yeah, hopefully tonight will be a good one as well. I don't think we'll touch those numbers because it's just not as big of a fight night. But that also allows for me to engage a little bit more with the chat. So that's fun. That was the one downside of that of last week, was it was hard to keep up because the chat was moving so fast, and then Chris was doing his best to get rid of the bots that were like posting stream links and stuff in the chat. But geez, good job, guys, says Base. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You're a mainstay, brother. You're always in the chat, so we appreciate you, and we appreciate you being here, commenting. That all helps with the push that we get from YouTube. So if you guys are in here and you think anybody else might enjoy the live, share it with them. Shares help and stuff like that. So thank you so much. We're seeing the walkouts now. Terrence Chapman rocking the purple shorts tonight. First to walk out of the main card. It's going to be interesting. Terrence Chapman is a 4-ounce Fight Club guy. You see Daniel Pineda back there in his corner, and it looks like Michael Aswell as well, also fellow UFC fighter. Daniel Pineda is a very, very good coach, and that's Chico, the black guy there, the older gentleman. Really, really high level Muay Thai instructor. Daniel Pineda, the head coach of 4-ounce Fight Club, and then Michael Aswell, UFC fighter. The 4-ounce guys, for those of you that don't know, 4-ounce Fight Club is where Joshua Van trains out of, as well as Alden Correa, Michael Aswell, and Pineda was coaching and fighting out of there until recently when he stepped away from fighting. So they're scrappers, man. The guys there all have the same style. They like to bite down and bang. They throw a lot of volume. I expect that out of Chapman. He's not going to be afraid in this fight. I expect him to just come in throwing heavy. But ultimately, I took Anthony Wint. I think the athleticism is going to be the difference maker here. Elton, thanks. Last week was awesome. Appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much. Has RDR got over his loss when he quit? Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I picked him to win this fight. You know, I think 205 RDR is definitely the move. I think he spent the right amount of time to get to 205. I mean, he's fought at 205 before, but he looks very filled out. You know, at the weigh-ins, he optically, the eye test, certainly RDR looked better to me than Dolidze. I do think he's going to win. Is he going to make a push to the top? To the top of the division? I don't know, but we will see. Is RDR a hammer more than a nail? Can give it, but can't take it. A bully. Yeah, that's, you know, when he's the hammer, everybody does great when they're the hammer. The question is, how well do you respond when you're the nail? That's a fair question. And I guess we'll find out. It didn't look so great in the Brendan Allen fight, but, you know, he definitely wasn't the best nail there. Let's see what happens tonight if Dolidze starts to have some success. Is it fair to say if RDR loses today, his career is pretty much over? I don't know if I would say his career is over, but I think any semblance of like a championship run for RDR would pretty much be out the window at this point in time if he were to lose today. I think he's trying to do a quick, fresh coat of paint and make a quick run to the top. So a loss to Roman Dolidze, who's a fellow 185er moving up, that's not been so hot in his last little, you know, couple of years, as well as being unranked in the division. I do think that would be very problematic. What's up, Joey? Good to see you. Welcome to the live. Thank you. Maverick says, have I been watching Tough 34? No, I've been watching Contender Series, but I do need to go back and brush up on the Ultimate Fighter. Is it a good season this season? Let me know. But yeah, Joey, thank you for joining the live, my friend. It's good to have you in here again tonight. Thanks so much. And thanks to everybody who has come through so far. We got Anthony Wint entering the cage now. Let's see here. Chris is getting the clock up. And we will have this no signal here will be Nick in a handful of minutes. So Chris is trying to see if he can get the timer up without minimizing me on the screen. There we go. Shout out to Chris. All right. Tail of the tape. So the biggest thing here, Anthony Wint is shorter but longer reach and big weight differential there. Anthony Wint is a 230-pound, very quick, very athletic, very explosive heavyweight. And Terrence Chapman is kind of that Derek Lewis frame, right? A little fluffier, filled out all the way to the brim of the weight class. So let's see. This is kind of the heavyweight body of new and the heavyweight body of old. Let's see what plays out here. But Anthony Wint is definitely the heavy favorite for a reason here. Weekly Chris is the GOAT comment. Yes, thank you, Based. Yeah, that's well-deserved. The MVP of the Barnhill Brothers. I say it every chance I get, which is pretty much every video we do. All right, Terrence Chapman just introduced now. What's up, Ronnie? Thank you so much. Good to have you in the chat tonight. Thank you, Ronnie, so much for being here. And Ronnie is one of our premium channel members, so shout out to you. thank you so much for being a channel member. And Nick and I just had a conversation actually today, because that side of things is growing on YouTube, with some ideas of some members only content that we will have coming out and some things we're going to offer for that. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for your support. Joe Martinez is an OG great announcer. I love Joe. I mean, Bruce Buffer is kind of the voice of the octagon, as they say, but you know, Bruce is or Joe Martinez, excuse me, is great, and he does the Spanish names phenomenally. Let's see here. Can any other orgs ever match the UFC? It's going to be tough. I mean, the way you beat the UFC or match the UFC is you sign the young talent. So here we go, guys. I will get back to the chat here in just a second. We are underway. Anthony Went fainting. Terrence Chapman looking to get some reads as well, kind of bouncing around, throwing a little bit of feints, throwing a few feints of his own. So far, neither guy has closed the distance to try to step into range and fire. Both guys seem to be respecting the power of one another. Anthony Went stepping in with a jab there. Chapman stepped back and threw a hook. Nice body jab for Went. Getting in and out of range pretty well so far. Big leg kick there for Anthony Went. Not sure what that was. Look at the size of Anthony Went's legs. He's probably in a double XL pair of shorts, and he is stretching those things out. He just looks like your average NFL running back with the build. Think of like Nick Chubb, you know, what was the guy's name? Derrick Henry from Alabama. Yeah, he's just an absolute beast. So Terrence Chapman, though, does have a height and weight advantage, even though the reach goes to Went. So let's see how Chapman tries to use that weight, see how he throws it around. But beautiful jab there by Went. He's definitely the quicker fighter. Chapman trying to get a jab going. Looking for a takedown there is Anthony Went, and so far defended well by Terrence Chapman, but Anthony Went now has double unders. Chapman swims in. We're kind of in a 50-50 position now. Interesting to see Anthony Went go right to the wrestling. So both guys kind of vying for position, pummeling a little bit. Went still looking for that takedown, drops down to the single, and he gets it there. So now Went is on top in the half guard position, looking to solidify his position on the ground, get Terrence Chapman kind of pinned down. So Chapman looking for a Kimura grip here to try to force some movement out of Anthony Went. Wasn't really expecting to see this go to the ground this early in the fight, or at all, to be honest with you. So let's see what Chapman does with this Kimura grip. We have Anthony Went just throwing some shots to the body there. And okay. So that Kimura is getting a little bit deeper there. Anthony Went needs to be mindful of that. He's not really in danger of being finished here, but he definitely needs to address that Kimura grip that Terrence Chapman has. So yeah, the leverage there, especially when you have a guy who's 265 pounds cranking on you. You definitely, Anthony Went, I would like to see him address that more than he is. He's starting to crawl up the body a little bit of Terrence to get a better angle on that arm there. And, you know, it's questionable as to who's winning these minutes, because there is literally and technically a submission attempt happening here, even though it's not a super deep one, but Anthony Went's on top position, raining down the strikes. Just 1 minute and 14 seconds left in this round. Let's see, some bigger shots now for Anthony Went. All right. Just over a minute left in the round here. Anthony Went is starting to take control and work his way up the body of Terrence Chapman. Went stepping over into, wow, Head and arm triangle there. He could finish it here. He needs to step off. Looks like Terrence Chapman may. He's out. Terrence Chapman's out. Anthony went in the first round, head and arm triangle. Undefeated, still undefeated, head and arm submission in the first round. Anthony went. Was definitely expecting a knockout there, and we got a head and arm triangle. So very, very interesting.
I got nervous because I thought you did first round KO, but you just did
I did first round finish, yeah.
You started cranking a submission, and my money started going up. I was like, what the hell?
Sub wasn't the route I was going. Yeah, me either, Base. That was definitely not on my bingo card tonight, but solid win there for Anthony Went nonetheless. So who do I think wins Gane versus Aspinall? I don't know. That's a pretty close fight, man. I really don't know. I mean, I don't think we saw enough in the first fight to really say it was a foregone conclusion. Cyril was looking really good on the feet, but Tom does have tremendous power and he's got great takedowns. So could Tom have landed a big shot or gotten a takedown and completely changed things? Yeah. But Cyril was looking good for the time that he was, in there. So, man, I think that fight's kind of 50-50. If John Jones fought Tom Aspinall, would he beat Aspinall? Maybe. I think my money would probably be on John. Good not to panic on the Kimura threat. Yeah, totally agree, Based. And Bredemov says, what's up, 1/3 of the Barnhill Brothers? What's up, man? You're going to get 2/3 here in just a minute. Nick is cleaning himself up and making himself decent to head on over. So back to that question. Can any other organizations match the UFC? Why do they all fail? The biggest thing is they all fail because they hire and they try to build talent, or they try to build their organization off of fighters that are past their primes. So they'll sign, ex-UFC fighters for the most part, or fighters that just couldn't hack it in the UFC and try to make them the stars. What I've said this before, and I really believe that if anybody wants to compete with the UFC, one, it's going to take you a decade to do it. But what you have to do is you have to go sign the talent that's coming up. The 16, 17, 18-year-old kids that are going to set the world on fire tomorrow. You have to go identify them, and you have to pay them more than the UFC will pay them. So you're going to have to pay people that nobody knows who their names are, but that's going to build the talent of the next generation. It's a difficult thing to do, and you have to have some staying power in the industry. But that's what I think will be ultimately what would cause an organization to be able to compete with the UFC. Let's see here. You can pop that up, Chris. Ronnie says 2013 to 14, Johnny Big Rig Hendricks, 2026 Carlos Prates. Let's go to Johnny Hendricks. All right, Anthony Went. He is with, I believe, Michael Bisping. Yep, Michael Bisping. Let's see, 2013. So, beating Carlos Condit, losing to George St. Pierre. I think he kind of got robbed in that fight. And then beating Robbie Lawler. And then losing to Robbie Lawler. I think I'm going to go Prates. This is one of those ones where I feel like you just got to go with the guy who, Nick and I talk about this all the time, and you've heard it a million times with these questions, but the new generation is different. Now, Johnny Hendricks can wrestle his ass off. So could he take Carlos down? I believe he can. Do I think he would finish Carlos on the ground? I don't think so. I don't think he'd submit him or something like that. I think Islam Makhachev is a way higher submission threat. And so I think each round that Carlos was able to start on the feet, he's way faster, way longer, way cleaner. I think Carlos would eventually find a knockout. So I'm going Carlos in that one, Carlos Prates. Another ex-NFL player like Brendan Schaub. Yeah, this guy is another ex-NFL player and also very good. Although Brendan says he only had a cup of coffee with the Buffalo Bills, so he doesn't necessarily really consider himself an ex-NFL player. And Dominic Reyes, yeah. Yeah. And then Hokett too. I couldn't name a single NFL player other than Tom Brady, but yeah, Tom Brady. That's kind of like us with soccer. We're like, we can name Messi and Ronaldo, right? And there's a really tall Viking-looking guy. I think his name is Holland. But yeah, us Americans, we don't know our footballers, so no shame in that, base Volk. But yes, Josh Hokett did spend a very small amount of time in the NFL. What'll happen is the NFL will draft these people and they'll put them on the practice squad. They'll even pay them a little bit, as far as I know, and then they will reduce the team down to 56. I think each team has got 56 players, so a lot of the time the guys will be brought in and then they won't ultimately make the cut. Let's see here. Carlos Prates has been strictly matched up against strikers and point scoring kickboxers. He has yet to face an elite level wrestler. I agree with that, Ronnie. He needs to. And seeing as how JDM took him down kind of at will, that's a solid point. Despite the striking heavy schedule, he's been taken down 9 times across his UFC career. Yeah, revealing a potential structural vulnerability. Very well said. I totally agree with that. And the ease with which JDM took him down does give me pause. Ronnie, one thing Chris asked me if you could do, we had a bunch of emojis made for the channel members. So you'll see you have the Barnhill B next to your name. That's like the default channel member insignia. But there's some like yo-yo, like some of our sayings and stuff like that. Like a KO for knockout and a sub for submission. I believe that you should have access to all of them. I'm not really sure. We put them in there, I guess it was a couple of weeks ago. So can you see if you can find those or have access to those? Because I'm not seeing them on my end, but you should be seeing them on your end. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, that's a good question from Base. Is that a 3 or a 5 round fight? Maverick says, I think Usyk, the boxer, wants to fight Jones in MMA since he was a wrestler in Ukraine. Yeah, I mean, he's done a little grappling, but that would be in no way sufficient for him to compete with John. John would clean the floor with Usyk, even though I love Usyk as a boxer. During his 2013 to 14 title run, Hendricks alone attempted more takedowns than almost all of Prates' opponents' average combined over comparable spans. Yep. Solid point again. Big money fight. Yeah, I mean, Usyk versus Jones in MMA would be a huge money fight, although I don't think it'd be competitive. Johnny Hendricks has faced tall and long rangy strikers before, and Carlos Condit, who stands at 6'2". Yep. I don't think he's faced a striker as lethal as Carlos, though. I'd have to go back and look at his full record, but Carlos is a new generation of striker, and he does have real power. But yeah, that would be like a Johnny Hendricks type would be the perfect test for Carlos, like even a Yaroslav Amosov. Now, I know it doesn't make sense in the rankings, right? Because Yaroslav is so much further behind, but like I would love to see how, or even like a Sean Brady, how would Prates do against somebody like that? I feel like retired NFL player Aaron Donald could be an insane heavyweight contender. Is Aaron coming back to the NFL? I heard something that he was coming, like trying to re-sign a deal and come back. Let's see, but that could also come with the expectation. Prates would be expecting a takedown from a wrestler, but JDM maybe not so much. That's true too. Do Lennox Lewis, the boxer, personality being more quiet, he was never a true fan favorite like Mike Tyson. Thinking Islam is similar a bit, quiet, not a trash talker like Conor. Yeah, that's got something to do to it. I mean, style does have something to do to it and do with it as well. You know, people like to see finishes, and Islam was racking up some nice finishes at 55 there before he moved up, but he's yet to have a finish at 70. I think if he finishes a couple people, it will change the game for the way people look at Islam. And guys, we better late than never. We have another Barnhill brother in studio. He's sitting down, getting himself set up right now. So everybody shout out Nick.
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
Let's see here. There he is.
Alive in the flesh.
Only 3 opponents successfully took GSP down during his entire 23-fight career. Hughes, Koscheck, and Hendricks. Hendricks took GSP down 2 times during that 5-round bout. Yep. What was that? $50 and a flask of Crown. Johnny Hendricks' walkout song.
Is that what that was?
I still have that download. I'll listen to it every now and then when I'm at the gym.
That's a good one.
Roman Reigns is here, guys. Yes, he is.
Clock it in. Seth Rollins.
Maverick says, who's your GOAT at the moment? I still think John at the moment, to be honest with you. But I think another defense or 2 from Islam, and I'd probably change my opinion.
Johnny Bones is the GOAT.
Dr.
Right
Nick, the Simpsons character.
Is that me?
I don't know Dr. Nick, the Simpsons. I have to look him up.
You know, I always wanted to get into the Simpsons, but then I realized they're like 800 or 1,000 episodes in. So, and they can predict the future, so it might be.
I'm gonna look it up. There's Dr. Nick there.
I could see it. Virtually identical.
He's got the goatee. He
Not
needs,
quite
he
as
needs to
sharp.
fill that beard out.
Yeah.
Okay. What's up, Constantinos? Thank you so much for the donation, my friend. I appreciate it. What's up, guys? What do you think about the card so far? Love it, man. Lots of first-round finishes. An unconventional first-round finish, in my opinion, at least for Anthony Went. I did pick him to win in the first round, but I picked him by KO in the first round. He got the submission. But everything has been a finish so far on the card except for the Dorsonville fight. But that one was very exciting. That could be fight of the night. So I think overall, pretty good fight so far. I've enjoyed it. How about you? Are you enjoying it? Hi, Dr. Nick was a popular Simpsons character. Yeah, we'll have to go back and watch The Simpsons, Nick, one of these days.
I'm gonna need to get more acclimated. But they had a great video game, Simpsons Road Rage. I played it on the Xbox. Chris remembers. Can you take me home? Thieves stole my police car. That was a great game. I know I never beat it because I never left that city, and I feel like there were more cities to go drive in, but it was a lot of fun.
I don't. You must be the favorite Barnhill brother, bro, because the chat just grows by 2x when you show up.
I've just got that infectious personality.
Either that or people want to just take shots at you in the chat.
It's either want to punch me in the face or for some reason they like me.
Exactly.
I've fooled half of them. No.
If Islam beats one of Morales or Shavkat, then he's the GOAT for me, says Base Volk. What about Prates? If he beats Prates, does that move the needle for you?
What happened in that last fight?
Holy nostalgia, great game.
Road Rage,
Yeah.
that was for you.
Yeah.
Holy nostalgia. Yeah. That game is so great.
What do you think happened in that fight?
Well, the 90% favorite across all metrics, it seemed like Went was going to win.
Yeah. Is that who you went with?
I went with Went. Yeah. I did. He got knocked out?
No, he won by submission. Yeah.
He submitted the guy?
Yeah,
The one time I don't go by just victory and I go by method.
Yeah, he messed up my part. Well, that Lorraine guy did. Well, we got one more donation for you.
Okay, cool.
I'm just giving money away at this point.
2014 definitely not 2014. Can you imagine 2014?
He's like,
Quillen
what,
Saul killed
14
versus
years
2026 Cowboy Cerrone.
Yeah.
A steroided, TRT Cowboy Cerrone against a 12-year-old Quillen Saul killed. Okay, so 2014 God, I love Cowboy. I'm gonna take a stroll down.
I don't remember what year
here.
it was, but that combo he hit on Hernandez.
The slow-mo.
Yeah, that's pure cinema. That's like when they show that on Instagram as a reel, I always tune back in.
Let's see here. Adriano Martins. You know who Adriano Martins knocked out, don't you, Nick?
Islam Makhachev?
Islam Makhachev.
He actually did.
Not Pantoja. He actually did. So
oh, wow.
he started things off with a head kick KO of the guy who knocked out Islam Makhachev.
Not bad.
Then he submitted Edson Barbosa with a rear naked choke, and that's a 30-some, or no, that would have been a 28-year-old Edson Barbosa. Then he KO head kicked Jim Miller, and then he decisioned Eddie Alvarez. Man, I was going to say easy Quillen, but like, I don't know. I think Cowboy, because Cowboy, see, I like Ronnie. I'm starting to get more like why you're putting these matchups together, because Cowboy did have really sneaky submissions, really good bottom game, sorry, and really good Muay Thai, and he was very aggressive and very powerful. And how would that have matched up against Quillen? It's a good question. I think I'm going to go Cowboy on this one. I love Quillen Saul killed, but 2014 Cowboy Cerrone was a killer. I mean, just let me name that off again. Adriano Martins, the gentleman who knocked out Islam Makhachev in 2015. So Adriano Martins came back and knocked out Islam. So it wasn't like it was a washed Martins.
True.
A submission of Barbosa, a KO of Jim Miller, and a decision of Alvarez. Are you kidding me? That's got to be, as much as I love Quillen, I think you got to go Cerrone on this one.
Record for record, Cerrone all day. But, you know, skill for skill, how would he be able to deal with the striking of Quillen Saul killed?
Yeah.
Would he be able to deal with the size of current 155ers? Which, you know, you go back and look at his era, and guys were not near as big as they are now, right? I always have to take that into consideration too, because these guys are cutting weight better than they ever have. So they're living at 200 pounds. Look at Patty.
Yeah.
Patty in no circumstances back in the day would have ever been a 155er.
True.
You know, he would have been a 170, maybe even a 185er living at 210.
In the early days, he could have been the heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah. If he would have been at UFC 1, he would have been heavyweight champion of the world.
So Ronnie says Quillen Saul killed was knocked down by Dariush 30 seconds into the fight. That's true.
But let's not forget who Dariush of 2023 was, right?
Yeah, he was right.
So he still
Dariush
had
had
a
26 fights inside the UFC, 17 wins, 3 knockout, not really a KO artist. Yeah. Cerrone has 10 knockout wins in his UFC career, holding a long-standing promotional record of 7 from head kicks. Yeah. I'm going Cowboy.
Yeah,
I'm going Cowboy on that.
I think record-wise, it's not even close. But I think skill for skill, you guys know me. I'm biased towards the modern era. I just think the modern fighters are they're learning from all these guys. We've all learned from the greats, and you take a few things from each guy, and those guys weren't privy to that same information. They were learning from the generation before them, which before Cowboy Cerrone's generation, it was legit UFC 1 through 10.
Yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. You've done some sparring rounds with this gal, Carly Judice, right?
Yes. So Carly was in. Last time I saw Carly was about 2 weeks ago, probably right before she would have left off. So it was sort of like I don't want to say a peak week, but she was right there towards the end of camp before weight cut starts. Looked very sharp on the feet. I didn't do a round with her that day, but I have sparred with her and worked with her a little bit with different drills and stuff like that. Really sharp. I just, you know me, I'm a sucker for good feinting. She's got good feints. Her takedown defense is pretty solid. She comes from an athletic background, and I think that sometimes visual learners and natural born athletes can figure out how to make their body do high level techniques faster than somebody who maybe didn't play as many sports growing up and got right into combat sports early. It's just a different thing. And sometimes visual learners you can see somebody do something. You know, I always say this, like when I'm doing bag work, this may sound weird to some people. I don't even tell a lot of people this, but now Kat's going to be out of the bag. We're doing it on a live stream. I'll put on a playlist to doing my when I'm doing my heavy bag work. And what that playlist consists of is nothing but walkout songs from UFC fighters. And so I'll give each song as like a different round. And if it's Hamzat's, then I'm moving and mimicking like Hamzat. I'm imitating Hamzat. If it's Ilia Toporia's walkout song, I'm then switching my movements on the bag a little bit. And, so on and so forth. If it's the Foggy Dew, you might see vintage Conor McGregor. But, I just think that people that can, and I kind of put myself in that category. I'm pretty good at learning, and I can imitate people pretty well. You guys remember the Eddie Hearn impersonation. I'm pretty good at mimicking.
Oh, we
Carly
got Judice
Judice
with a big body shot, technical knockout in the first round.
Early landing big.
Did she do that to you in sparring?
Of course not. But she
But yeah, Justin, welcome to the chat, by the way, my friend.
Yo.
People are saying Saul killed versus BSD next, but I'd prefer her face Max next since we've seen him face, or prefers he face Max next. We've seen him face 2 high-level grapplers. Now let's see how he does against an elite striker. Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. Ronnie says during his 2014 run, Cowboy maintained an exceptional 88.1 TDD takedown defense rate, which ranked as the 2nd highest in UFC lightweight history. So yeah, that would be a really Saul killed versus Vintage Caroni is a great. I'd love to see that.
What was it that she landed here? Okay, so body kick, beautiful. She throws those pushes a lot. And then, all right.
They want to know if you can mimic Yoel Romero.
That one's kind of tough.
In the sauna?
Oh, Michael Beasley,
I love
you. See you soon, boy. I was hoping we would see Hector Lombard versus Yoel Romero at Gamebred MMA bare knuckle fighting, but and the reason is because they said, look, Jorge, we're both willing to do the fight, but we cannot have a face-off because as soon as we get within arm's reach, we are going to fight each other. And
Yeah.
I don't think Jorge has it in his budget to get that much security to keep Hector Lombard and Yoel Romero away from one another until they get into the cage. So Hector ended up backing out of that, but hopefully they do wind up making that fight sometime.
Chris, I need a computer charger if you have one. Do you have one by chance? I just realized I'm down to very low battery here.
Uh-oh.
So if the computer dies, guys, I will get it back fired up in a second, and I'll pull the chat up on my phone so we don't.
While I get it, I'll throw this up, and then I'll go find it.
Thank you again, Ronnie. Appreciate you, my friend. Let's
What we
see
got?
here. Prime 2016 Cody Garbrandt versus 2026 Sugar Sean.
Sugar Sean.
Let's see here. Cody Garbrandt.
I'm biased on that one.
Nick hates Cody Garbrandt because he got blocked by him on Instagram.
When I was a kid, I said something in a comment and got blocked. But whenever I was at the PI, he was there hanging out with Gervonta Davis, just standing next to the cage watching us. So he obviously doesn't remember me and didn't have any issues.
That's
so
like,
he was nice.
Fletcher Reed from Liar Liar. You're not important enough to remember.
Exactly.
So Augusto Mendez, KO. Thomas Almeida, KO. Mizugaki, KO.
And this is Sacktown.
And then he beat Cruz for the belt. So, yeah, he had 4 or 5. Hopefully this will hold the charge. So that's a pretty damn impressive 2016. He was like in a total flow state in that Dominic Cruz fight. That was a thing of beauty. But I kind of agree with Nick on this one. I think I'm going to go away from the old fighter on this one and go with the new gen. I don't think that Cody of 2016 could do that to Sean. I think the level of striking at bantamweight has gone up a lot. And I love Dom Cruz, but the way he moved and struck was unique at the time. I think in today's bantamweight world, the guys at the top would figure that out and would beat him. So I think I'm going to go Sugar on that one.
And also Dominic, that single performance was the Dominic Cruz performance. And Dominic has such a unique style. But I think after, 5 people or 4 fights total that Dominic got against Team Alpha Male, and then Cody happened to be that 5th match or something like that. I mean, at some point, it's heads or tails. At some point, it's going to land on the other side.
Exactly.
But Dominic Cruz really didn't ever have problem with Team Alpha Male. So Cody obviously was the better man. That's arguably one of the best performances in bantamweight history. But
that was here we go. Sorry, guys. Chris is, as always, hooking me up here when I showed up unprepared without my computer charger. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, it looks like it's charging faster too. So
it's crazy.
See
it's crazy. Carly Judice is saying, I would like a top 15 next. Like, she's always winning.
And she finishes.
And she's
She's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely give her a top 15.
I'm surprised she's not already fighting in the top 15.
And when you spar with her, does she bring that intensity and all that to sparring?
Yeah, she's a good.
So that guy right there, by the way, the guy holding the camera.
Yeah.
He is one of the owners of Ragin' FC. Really nice guy. His son is one of the two that fought.
Okay.
In the kids fight that I called. So
the guy with the beard is he comes with her every time.
yeah, Aaron Phillips is his name. I think I think he fought on the Ultimate Fighter, but I don't think he ever made it to the UFC. Really nice fella.
Yeah.
But let's see here. Yeah, they have a common opponent in Almeida. That is true. Cody was able to KO Prime Thomas Almeida.
But we all remember what Sugar did to Almeida. I know he might not have been Prime, but that was
also
horrible.
too, like Anthony Went, Terrence Chapman. Anthony Went has a split decision victory against a guy that Terrence Chapman knocked out in 20 seconds. So you can, and then obviously we saw what just happened in the fight. So, you can do head-to-head and MMA math a little bit, but I hear what you're saying, but I still, let's see. I want to see what else your thoughts are on this. So
November 14th, Madison Square Garden, New York City, UFC 334 is confirmed. They are running the promo right now. No names yet. If they announce 334 before we get the main event of 332, I'll go bananas.
335 is December 12th.
T-Mobile.
Yep.
That could be the one we do with Schaub.
Yeah.
Or Madison Square Garden.
Either one of those two would be good. Yeah.
Yeah. No belt.
Let's see here. Cody beat 2016 Cruz, Prime Dominic Cruz.
They gave Delgado the main against Noche. I remember seeing something about it, but this is a confirmation that it is official.
Yeah, you make some real solid points, Ronnie. I'm interested to know, do you think that I guess we should ask you as well, or you don't have to tell us if you don't want to, but do you think 2016 Garbrandt would beat today's Sean O'Malley? I still think that Sean, I think that the height, the feinting, the range, the quickness of Sean, I think that would pose real problems for Garbrandt. I still think that probably my pick would be Sugar. Let's see here. Angela Hill's paternal grandparents were Betty and Barney Hill, the New Hampshire couple who claimed they were abducted by extraterrestrials in 1961. That's interesting.
Angela Hill?
Yeah.
Barney Hill,
just like us. I saw that also got blocked by Jamal Hill, so must just be people called Hill. Betty and Barney Hill reported seeing a flying saucer in New Hampshire while driving home from vacation. Interesting.
Well, I guess they aren't so crazy now. Aren't the files out that aliens are among us?
Seems like it. Okay, so Ronnie does think 2016 Prime Cody beats Sugar. There we go. Okay.
That guy in the back with the body pad on looks like one of my neighbors.
He does. I saw that guy in his garage today.
Yeah.
What happened to Mike Goldberg? It's all over. Did he went to Bellator after the UFC canned him, didn't he?
Yeah, he's the virtually identical guy.
Yeah,
right?
virtually identical.
He wasn't bad. You know what the biggest miss, or I don't want to say a miss, but the most unfortunate commentary guy's career was Jimmy Smith.
Yeah, he kind of got shafted
because he went to Bellator. He did a great job at Bellator. He got 1 year with the UFC, basically while they were switching over to ESPN. And then they just shuffled in all these former fighters.
Yeah.
And other people, Brendan Fitzgerald. And I'm happy with the group that they have now. But Jimmy, and then I don't think he got renewed back with PFL.
He went to one for a little while.
He went to
and
one.
Then I don't know where he is now.
I know he does MMA content, but I don't really see it that much. Yeah. He uprooted his entire life, moved to Korea, Singapore, or Japan, or something like that, and then got fired from there.
Somebody I think got shafted was Dan Hardy.
Oh yeah,
He was just trying to keep somebody safe and got fired.
Yeah, and he actually was on Joe Rogan not too long ago, talking about that.
Is that right? Yeah.
Wow. Well, him and his wife Veronica were actually just in Savannah.
Oh, is that right?
Where we're from, yeah. And yeah.
He's married to her?
Yeah, that's his wife. Yeah,
her last name's Hardy.
She used to be
Veronica, not Hardy.
Yeah, I forget what her maiden name was. Yeah,
but I sent her a comment on her post. They like collaborate on a post. I was like, hope y'all enjoyed my hometown and they were like, it was beautiful. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. All right, where are we next? So it was just 2 quick knockouts in a row. So I need to pull up and see.
And what happened to that Laren Douglas guy?
He got knocked out.
Yeah, he fucked up mine too. But
Mason Jones versus Markel Medeiros is next. So let me see. Let me put a poll in the chat for you guys.
Everything I've put up has been taken away.
Who wins the next one? Is it Maderos, Chris?
Sounds right. I can look though.
Cool.
I can pull them up. Yeah, Medeiros.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. We are moving right along with the UFC Sacramento main card. 2 quick knockouts to continue the finish streak that's taking place since the early prelims.
In California, love 2 firearms in Sacktown. Is that Sacramento?
Sacktown
the
is
Bay
Sacramento,
Area
yeah.
and back down.
Yeah.
So, Based said fight of the night prediction was this one. This is a good one for fight of the night. Mason Jones is always in exciting fights.
Cali's where they put the Mac down.
I definitely like Mason in this one. I think I picked him by late TKO in the Moneyball stream when we went live Thursday. I'd have to go back and
Double check.
those have been great, man. I've really been enjoying
those are good.
doing those live streams.
It gives me the insight I need on the early prelims, the prelims, and even some of the main cards that I'm not privy to. Markel. We got Jones and Medeiros.
We have Medeiros is 150 out of 150 trading cards.
Really?
Yeah, we have a Medeiros card.
Not Yancey.
Yeah, what is y'all's fight of the night so far?
Oh, there was one that early on.
The Dorsonville, yeah.
I like anytime
Gage
you
Young.
got every round that ends besides the last one, they're shoving each other. I'm in.
Yeah, it was a very competitive, very close fight. Stan Dorsonville showed up 5-0 on short notice out of LFA and did the thing. And yeah, that's my fight of the night so far.
And then
what's your knockout of the night? You could give it to Barbosa, just kind of a walk off. The submission.
No, the knockout of the night is Shamil.
Yeah.
That was insane. One punch he landed on basically on the entire fight.
And just start. Yeah, Shamil's the knockout of the night so far.
Turned Kennedy sideways. What was Kennedy doing? Fighting like
nothing intelligent.
Fighting like MVP, but without the footwork, without the decades of karate.
Islam had to put his teammate's shoulder back into place between rounds of the PFL fight tonight. Interesting. Which one of his teammates is fighting tonight?
Brother, you're fine, brother. After this, we get California cheesecake, brother.
Clearly didn't work, though, as he had to throw in the towel. That's a bummer. Boys, I was going to gamble all my savings on a parlay for this card, but instead I'm going to do the responsible thing.
There you go.
And out it all on red and put it all on red.
Oh, okay. I spoke too soon.
Yeah, Nick was like, Imbredimov is going to be responsible tonight. And then he was like, nope.
No.
Let's see. Demetrius Johnson could have been the first simultaneous double champ in history if he would have moved up to 135 to fight bantamweight champ Renan Barão in 13. In my opinion, Prime DJ would beat Renan Barão. Totally agree with that. Renan Barão was good for a hot minute, but it was like everybody was really hot on him, and then he just fell off massively. But I do think DJ would have beaten him. The skills and the speed are just way too much.
Yeah.
And Woodley beat Buckley in RAF too. Okay. That makes
sense. Is that
sense,
happening right now?
Update, it was black. Okay, so Imbredimav's putting it all on black. Magomedov is who had his shoulder put back into place, but unsuccessfully.
Yeah. He's the one that beat Peter Yan a long time ago. Isn't that insane?
All right, guys. We are moving right along with this Sacktown card.
Yeah, this one's flying, huh?
So far, we got 80% in the chat think Mason Jones is going to be the victor here. We, on the U.S. front, have 97 seconds worth of advertisement left before the next fight gets kicked off.
And that crushes us, right? We don't want to sit here and just watch commercials.
I know.
But
I like to watch the walkouts, but I get it there. You know, the Paramount deal is structured a little bit differently, and
yeah,
they gotta, if they're not gonna make, I mean, I know it's a nice-
Tostitos has got to pay for that spot.
they do, and you know, if we don't have to pay for pay-per-view once a month now, they got to make that money up some other way.
Yeah.
He really messed up the Tyrell Fortune fight because in between rounds he told his coach my rib is broken.
Thoughts on the new Dagestani prospect Magomedov, Marisharipov, Magomedov?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Bredimov, I heard he's a beast.
Whenever I've heard that Habib has an older brother, I was like, oh, cool. What's his name? I can't wait to hear what it is. And they're like, oh, it's Muhammad. I'm like, oh,
Muhammad.
So it's just Magomed with an O
Yeah.
instead of an A.
They have a few names that they stick. You got to respect that.
Yeah.
They can't have a chin beard based ass. You can take it to the bank, my friend.
Oh yeah, 100%. If we get to 100,000 subscribers tonight, I'll show up tomorrow for the podcast without a mustache
That would be worth it to see.
and a shaved head too.
Best walkout song ever, the fart song by Weird Al Yankovic, Roy Nelson's walkout.
Wow.
Did Big Country walk out to that?
Yeah.
That's one of the most odd ones. Tai Tuivasa used to walk out to Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Yeah,
Cyndi Lauper
that
song.
was hilarious. There's so many good ones. You know who always has had one, you know, more on the badass side, not the funny, you know, get a joke out of it, was Stranglehold, Michael Chiesa.
Yeah, that's a great
That's
song.
a great one.
That's a jiu-jitsu guy's song, but Bass just nailed it. Throw that up on the screen if you can, Chris. Ain't no grave at the White House card for Justin IMO.
Yeah.
1,000%. And the fact that Ilya held a mock funeral for Justin,
Yeah.
and then he came out to a walkout song with the lyrics that said, ain't no grave gonna hold my body down, and then proceeded to bludgeon the undefeated champion.
And
it's poetic
Yeah, I mean that
to the highest level.
That is as good as it gets. 100%.
Mike Perry's walkout of the wrong Halo. Yeah, that was hysterical.
Yeah, that was really
Beyonce's
great.
Halo. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
He wanted Halo's theme song from the video game, which would have been pretty cool. You know who has a great one, not in fighting, but in comedy? Shane Gillis. He walks out to Money for Nothing, Dire Straits.
Yeah, that's a great
That
song.
is a great song. But, you know, because he always, you know, jokes. He's like, I'm literally up here just telling, you know, fart jokes or whatever.
Yeah.
Money for nothing, you know. He just sold out 77,000 seats at the Link in Philadelphia.
Somebody walked out to that in Louisiana.
I feel like
And there was
some good songs, actually.
really good walkout
Creedence
songs from
Clearwater.
like young kids. And I was
Yeah.
like, man, I was not expecting these kids to have the depth of music knowledge. So, you know, shout out to them.
Chrissy Blair.
BJ Pins walk out to Gnarls Barkley song Crazy.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Fire.
Yeah.
Money Man Perry, what's up, my friend? All right,
Yo.
guys, we're underway here right out of the gate. Jones Medeiros.
Oh, purple Lamborghini for Carlos Prates.
That was a
is
good one.
One of my top favorites right now.
Except he lost to Ian Gary in that fight. So
Yeah, but he still walks out to it every time. So
that's a tough walkout song for sure.
And Skrillex, you know, for what it's worth, for electronic music, he's like the best. He's my favorite one.
100%.
DJ, if you will, producer.
So these guys have gotten right into it with just under 30 seconds passed in the fight so far.
Open stance. We got Mason Jones. You
We
know,
got a lot of
obviously-
switching for Medeiros.
Yeah.
Both guys are content hopping into range and exchanging.
Oh, dude, this Medeiros guy is sharp.
Good boxing over the top for Medeiros. Really nice low calf kick for Medeiros there.
It appears to be a step ahead. He's a little bit faster than Jones. Jones is going to need to slow him down somehow, whether it's leg kicks, weigh on him, or just start to get him to respect your hands. Anything will do, but something's got to work.
Yeah, so far the faster guy is Markel Medeiros for sure.
Yeah.
Body kick will do it. Decent body kick there.
Nice shot there.
for Mason Jones.
Nice shot there. Oh, that would have been a devastating stomp kick.
Both these
right.
guys very
Yeah.
content to stand and trade in range. Both guys have exchanged some pretty good calf kicks so far as well.
Jones, he takes one step back when the blitz starts, and then he plants his feet and waits to throw something back of his own, which admirable. It's not, a lot of people, I always say, like in training to people, if all they do is like back away, take 2 steps, take 3 steps away from it, you're never going to get any better. You have to experience that fire in the pocket. You have to slip towards punches. That's the only way you can get better at moving your head.
You
getting
can't
out of the way of
develop
shots.
sensitivity to
Running.
being in the pocket and slipping punches if you never allow yourself to be in the position to do it.
Anybody can back away from a fight.
Both of these guys so far have not backed up very much.
Yeah.
Good fight so far. Both guys have had their moments, and Jones is starting to pile on a little bit here.
Yeah, looking good.
This round is still very much up for grabs halfway through it.
Beautiful dirty boxing there. He had the frame in with his left hand.
Nice
and then,
lead knee by Mason Jones.
Got a nice hook and then an uppercut. Beautiful uppercut again. Justin Gaethje patented collar tie into an uppercut.
I was just going to say this guy reminds me of Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
Nice off-balance foot sweep there by Markel Medeiros.
Let's see the rolling thunder.
Mason Jones is right back up. All right, guys, just about 2 minutos to go in round number 1. So far, still a round that anybody could grab, Nick. Who you giving this round to so far?
Well, Medeiros started better, but I think some of the damage right now has to go towards Jones. I think he is doing more damage, and it seems like he's putting together better combos now in the back half of this first round.
He's had a nice little stretch here in the middle part of the round.
And the activity's there. He's not backing away, and he's getting off his offense, throwing punches and bunches. Telegraphing that backhand a bit and walking right into shots. But
you can see once that he's literally loading up on it, but he's still landing it.
Yeah.
Both these guys could use a little bit more defensive soundness, but it's making for a fun fight so far. Yeah. Oh, beautiful calf kick for Mason Jones there. That one took Medeiros off his feet.
That was picture perfect for what you want a calf kick to do and what you want to land in, which is right into a hammer fist ground and pound situation. Really nice stuff.
Mason Jones looking to do some damage here and take the back with about a minute.
Yeah, he's
left.
got a minute to work, so I wouldn't expect.
Medeiros rolled out really well, but he's in a bit of a triangle setup there. He needs to keep that pressure on. I mean, the angle's not there for Jones to finish the triangle, but good job by Medeiros to keep the pressure on there.
Yeah, you got to stay on top in those situations. Medeiros might eke this round out if he can, stay on top and do a little bit of damage. And all it is literally just the visual that the judges are leaving this round with Medeiros on top and Jones being reversed.
Yeah, I still give the round to Jones, though. I mean, this whole exchange on the ground came from him knocking Medeiros down with a calf kick, you know?
True.
Ooh, nice up kick there. Good round.
Wild
good
round.
opener.
They're giving that other fight, what's his name? Stanville?
Yeah, Stan Dorsonville.
Yeah, they're giving them a run for their money.
Yeah, this one was the one I circled. I think I even said it on the live stream on Thursday that I believe this one will be fight of the night.
Okay.
Mason Jones is just never in a boring fight.
Yeah.
I can see it spinning there. Yeah.
All right.
Let's see here. Paul Felder is an American. I just saw that. Did somebody say, oh yeah, Paul Felder. Yeah, so
the Irish
Dragon is Paul's nickname, but he is a Philly guy, right? He's from Philadelphia.
I would, I think so.
Yeah. Because in the Philly card last week, he said, I literally didn't have to stay at the hotel. I drove here from my house. So
I'd still take the free hotel room.
Yeah, why not?
Call it a staycation.
Just go there and
have a little fun.
hang out with the fighters.
Get yourself a California cheesecake. Unload a little bit downtown. What did that? Go hang out in the neighborhood.
Let's see here. Chris says, "Where I don't see it."
No second date.
No second date. No.
That's the story of my life in Bread.
That's in reference to what?
Date, but at least she knows how good Volk is with crap at 155.
I love those kind of memes. I get those all day long. I love that one. Okay, so I don't know if everybody's seen it, but it's like Ian Gary and Protez hanging out cage side at some event, and it's like when you're when your friend says, or when you're you and your friend are watching your bro bag a 10 out of 10 baddie. And then she says, "What's your background?" And he says, "I eaty, I sleepy, I trainy." and then it's the Arctic Monkeys song 505, and it's like, "I crumble completely when you cry." It's so funny because Carlos Protez is so upset, and Ian's trying to hug him.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's classic.
Well, we're 1 minute into round number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Here so far, right back to action as we saw in the first round. Mason Jones stepping right into fire here.
And look, he has gained the respect of Medeiros.
Beautiful. So Mason Jones just landed a really nice body shot, but Medeiros landed a beautiful knee over the top. That
elbow.
I think did, or sorry, yeah, beautiful elbow over the top that did more damage in that exchange than the body shot did for sure.
Jones has got a hell of a chin, huh?
Yeah, that was a big elbow.
That was as clean of an elbow as you can imagine.
Remember that Carlos Condit elbow? Was that who was that?
No,
against?
Matt Brown had an insane one.
Or no, Matt Brown against, was that Diego Lopez? Who did he just crumble with that?
Not Diego Lopez. Or it would have been Diego Sanchez.
Yeah. Definitely not Diego Lopez.
No.
The elbow again there. Medeiros
he's wobbly.
with that one. Yeah.
He just landed 2 hooks.
Another third elbow
and the hook's back.
Markel Medeiros. Goodness gracious.
Whoa. All right, you might have to stop this one, ref.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh, he's out on his feet.
Out on
oh my God.
Markel Medeiros standing knockout of Mason Jones. What a finish there.
He never went down. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's how tough some of these dudes are.
The Brazilian boys coming in, says Drizzy Goat. Yeah, welcome to the live chat, my friend.
Yo, what's up?
What a finish is right based. Wow.
Insane.
Latibo said could have stopped that one sooner. Yeah, I mean, that was just pure toughness. Condit stopped Thiago Alves with an elbow combination. Yeah, that's not the one I'm thinking of. I think the one I'm thinking of is Matt Brown, Diego Sanchez, where he
against the cage.
Up against the cage, just lands a big one that just folds. I think those were the 2 fighters. I could be wrong. It's been a while, and I've watched thousands of fights since then, but I think that was the one.
That would be a great stat to know personally about yourself. How many fights did you actually watch? You know.
Oh my God.
Thousands, yeah.
How many fights have you rewatched?
Yes, those 3 elbows in a row. So watch how Medeiros just stays right in the line of fire, drops those elbows, then straight to a straight 2. Really good finishing instincts by Markel Medeiros there.
Medeiros put him into punching range while they were in, basically elbow range, and then just unloaded some big hands to end the entire night.
Wow. Really good stuff there.
There will be some fun matchups to be made on Matchmaker Monday.
Yeah, you guys make sure, if you haven't ever been there for that, make sure you come on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Central.
Please do.
Nick does Matchmaker Monday. It's a live stream. It's interactive. He tries to make matches, but every Monday you guys get him off topic, which is not a hard thing to do with Nick. He starts talking about dating and life, and those end up being pretty fun. Yeah. I am entertained. I am in the chat equally as entertained and perplexed sometimes as you all are.
My favorite comment when people just happen to come in during one, they're like, "What the hell is this like?"
Yeah,
the MMA.
I'm like, all right, I guess I'm booking a flight to Albania. We're gonna find me a wife, and the rest
I
of
thought this was about UFC matches. The MMA lab is not to be trifled with. Medeiros was ready, says Joey. I couldn't agree more, man.
MMA lab is coming on strong.
They're coming up. Let's see, spinning elbow for Yuri Prohaska against Dominic Reyes. Yeah, that's a good one too. Are you dudes stoked for 332 main event of Figgy versus Talbot? Yeah, I'm actually booking a flight. A 40-year-old Figgy is must see in person type of action. No, I'm just kidding. But, on a serious note, what do you guys think is the 332 main event? Me and Nick were doing like a process of elimination, right? So hear me out before we're waiting for Bisping to get in there with Medeiros. 125 is 331. We know that 135 is being contested at 333, as well as 145 on the same card. 155, Justin Gaethje's not fighting again until 2027, if ever. 170, Islam just fought for the belt.
Yeah.
185 is an option. Would you do the Khamzat Strickland rematch in Salt Lake City? If I'm Sean and you're forcing me to do the Khamzat rematch, that makes sense to me. 205, what do you do? Do you do an interim belt at 332? You could. And then heavyweight, you know, I don't think it makes any level of sense to do Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gahn in Salt Lake City, Utah. That just doesn't make any sense. So
also it would have to be an interim title because Tom said he's not fully ready for a fight yet, but he's ready to get back into camp from what I understand.
Yeah. So tell me guys what y'all think.
It's got to either be, in my opinion, because you laid it out, right? The girls, Valentina's likely going to be the co-main event. Mackenzie just fought. Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison can't compete yet because Kayla's neck. So the girl divisions are all out.
Yeah.
125 is done with Pantoja and Van. 35 is done because it's on 33. 45 is done because it's also on 33 or 333. 55 is waiting for a number one contender in Arman Sarukian, which happens on 331. I don't think they would do an interim on Justin Gaethje's belt. I think they're going to let him enjoy this year. 170 just happened at 330. 185, yes, Sean Strickland might be getting forced to rematch with Khamzat, but if they're allowing him to have any say, he would like it to be in America. Maybe Salt Lake City being at altitude would be advantageous for him, and it could be very problematic for Khamzat. So that's one option for sure. Yuri versus Costa for an interim 205. That seems like it could be an option. I don't really see.
That's what the chat's saying. It seems like.
Or BMF Diego Lopez versus Charles Oliveira. That gives Charles an extra month.
Yeah, that's a wild card
to get the Nascimento.
But if I'm Strickland, and it seems like the UFC is going to make him rematch Khamzat, we know now it's not going to be in Abu Dhabi because we have that card. If I'm Strickland, I'm looking at that as a cardio monster, and thinking of the fan base and who's going to show up to the fight and whatnot. Salt Lake City, Utah. Yeah. I mean, and here's the other thing about Yuri Costa. We saw Costa and Luke Rockhold lay an absolute egg in Salt Lake City. So, do you really want to run the light heavyweights at that altitude? If I'm Strickland, I'm saying if you're making me fight Khamzat, give him to me now and give him to me, in a city where I have the advantage, which would be a city where the cardio comes into question because of the altitude. So,
and can I just add something? I know we've obviously all been talking about this for a long time. But now's the best time to bring it up because 332 does feel like it is missing a main event. It's missing a title fight. And back in the day, one title fight is all we would get on cards. Nowadays, unless you're a megastar, there's 2 world title fights on pretty much every numbered event.
Yeah.
So now is the best time for the UFC to introduce a couple new divisions. And look, Dana always says we're never going to do it. But if they added a 165 and then moved welterweight to 175, I feel like that would solve a lot of problems. And then also add a 225 in between 205 and 265. That way, there will literally never be an event where you're scrambling for a title fight or having to bring in all these interims, which it seems like we're doing multiple times a year now, just so you can fill out a numbered event and make it worthy of viewing. I feel like if you took the best and biggest 155ers and the best or the best and smallest 170 fighters and moved them to 165, and then you took the best 170 fighters that may have a hard time making that, like Michael Morales, and moved them up to 175, and then sort of just split the divisions like that. And then, of course, you have those middle-of-the-road heavyweights. The modern era for the heavyweight is sitting right around 240, which tells you at that size, they could make 225.
Yeah.
And then you take some of these massive 205ers and bring them up. You don't even really have to get new fighters. You just kind of let people move into their new weight classes. I feel like that's a no-brainer at this point. The UFC is now stacking belts all the time. But if you want champions to be active, then you need either less events that you have to rely on them for, or you need more champions. And the best way to do that is have more undisputeds, not more interims.
Got a real quick question from Ronnie. This might make Nick switch on his logic.
Thank you again, Ronnie. You might get Nick with this one, but Let's pop it up on the screen. All right, so Nick, 2016 welterweight Conor McGregor versus 2026 Islam Makhachev. So I think I know which way I'm going on this one, but let's go to
I mean,
Conor.
Conor's like obviously most people's favorite fighter for what he did for the sport, and stylistically he was such a nightmare. But remember, I'm of the mindset that Conor's best days were never at 170. I believe his best days were at 45 and 55, and that's when he was moving like a complete martial artist.
Yeah, it was the Nate Diaz fight. So, but I was looking to see if both of them were in 2016 because I couldn't remember.
Islam all day long.
So, yeah. So at 170, Conor did not have, and so one of the things I saw that you brought up, Ronnie, was that Conor has more knockout power than Ian Gary, and I totally agree with that. But at 170, and we know Nate was durable back in those days, Conor was smoking people at 145 and 155. And he was hurting Nate at 170, but not to the level that he was at 155. And I think Islam's durability is better at 170 than it was at 155. Conor's power, while it's still a threat, is not there to the same level. You did mention Conor had a 57% takedown defense against Khabib, which is very respectable, but that also means Khabib got him down about 50% of the time. And Islam, with 15 extra pounds to work with, I think could have an equal or better takedown ratio. Islam is a better striker than Khabib was. Islam, in my opinion, is a better fighter than Khabib was. But there is no Islam if there wasn't a Khabib. But still, I think Islam is the better fighter. I think Islam wins that fight pretty handedly, to be honest with you. I think Islam could probably submit Conor. I mean, Nate Diaz submitted him at 170. So what are we thinking as far as like Conor's ability to stop the sub from Islam? I'm not really seeing it. I think Makhachev. So what do you think, Ronnie?
How about peak George St. Pierre versus peak right now Islam Makhachev?
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
That's one I'll give you. I'll throw back your direction there, Ronnie.
So Islam Makhachev's last 5 opponents do not possess the one-punch KO that prime Conor had, except for maybe Dustin.
But again, Conor didn't have it at
Ian
170.
Volk, JDM, Moicano, Hooker, Oliveira, all mainly volume. True. But Conor really didn't have that starching pop at 70, in my opinion. So Islam, let's see here. If Islam and Khabib swap positions, would Islam still fight the way he does, or would Khabib be the more well-rounded fighter? That's a good question. I mean, you always have the benefit of learning from the past. So Khabib was figuring stuff out that in real time he taught to the guys coming up, and now those guys implemented and compile on it. So I think, if the roles were switched, probably Khabib would be able to do what Islam is doing now. Based says Volk could slime anyone out in one punch. What do you mean?
Give him Ngannou. I've seen enough. Give him Ngannou.
Compared to Islam Makhachev, Khabib has fought many big KO punchers like Gaethje, Poirier, McGregor, Barbosa, and Johnson. True.
That's fair.
But so Ronnie, would you take McGregor in that one? That would be a surprise to me, but I'd be interested to know. All right, guys, we are
Rainier de Ritter's on deck.
Into the Rainier de Ritter experiment at 205.
With Roman Dolidze's experiment at 205. How many times has he gone to 205? This is like one of his first, right?
Yes, I'm going to take a bathroom break while they're building this fight up.
All right, guys, y'all are stuck with me. I'm going to try my best to keep up with the chat too, but I've also seen enough. Give me Dern. Hey, you'll have to invite him up. You got to fight me for that spot, brother. Okay. His prime was the Eddie fight. That was 215. No. Yeah, I think that the best performance Conor ever put on was the Eddie fight. That even trumps the Jose Aldo fight, because Jose's wasn't really enough for us to get anything out of. But the way he was moving at MSG against Eddie Alvarez was truly next level. And that Conor, I think that Conor could beat the Islam that, basically finished out 155. I think that that's a more reasonable comparison. Maybe 2024 Islam versus 2015 Conor. Then we might be having even a different conversation. The weight class 155, Conor before he wasn't locked in, Conor before the boxing, which sort of changed his style, and Islam fresh to getting the belt. I think that's maybe more fair and I think more competitive. Yeah, Ronnie's right. Anything after 2016 was a rough go for Conor. I agree with that. I think that Conor, Madison Square Garden was his best performance, and it almost is unfortunate that Conor had to go from 45 to 55 and then up to 70, and then did he go back? Yeah, he went back to 55. I almost feel like I would rather have not seen those fights at 170. Now, of course, I'm happy we saw the Nate Diaz fights, and I'm happy that we saw the Cerrone fight, but it almost feels like a more fair shake for Conor if he would have also not self-sabotaged himself with the substances, that we would be, able to see a better Conor McGregor's, at least run, rather than moving from 45 all the way to 70 in a matter of a few fights.
Yeah. So I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. The confidence, motivation, the fire. Yeah, I'm reading through what you're saying, Ronnie. So, yeah, I agree. His prime was 14 to 16. Totally agree. Anything past. Yeah, lost the great karate stance that made him great. Yeah, that was the thing. When Conor was light on his feet and the way he moved, there was nothing like it. Yeah. But the boxing stance, Conor, and I guess to some degree in the Eddie Alvarez fight, he kind of adopted a little bit more of that bobbing and weaving sort of boxing stance, and he had a great success in that fight. But I still like karate stance, McGregor the best.
Yeah.
Random fight that just popped in my head. Do you guys think Josh Van would beat Adrian Yanez? It would be a sick fight for sure. I mean, obviously Josh is the champion. Yanez is a pretty good fighter at 135.
They're weight classes for a reason, though.
But Josh you've seen Josh. I've never met Josh in person.
Yeah.
I've seen Adrian Yanez in person. He's a small fella, right?
Yanez?
No, Josh.
Josh is small.
Very small, right?
Josh is very small. Yanez isn't that durable. Both of them kind of just go out there to throw hands.
Yeah. I forgot to start the poll. Let me start it before. You can go ahead.
But yeah, I think Josh Van, obviously he has proven to us that he's championship caliber, not with his title gain, but with his title defense. And he has pop on his shot, but maybe not enough to take out a 35er, which means he might have to go decision. And Yanez, he's got power too. It's a tough fight, and that's probably a really fair one because Yanez will never be champion of 135, and Van currently is the champion. But he hasn't even had a perfect run in the UFC at 125.
He got knocked out by Charles Johnson.
He got knocked, exactly. And
I'd probably go Yanez, honestly. And I'm a fan of Josh. I think he's a good fighter, but I've seen Adrian's a reasonably large fella. And Josh Van is from what you're describing to me is not. I think there'd be too much size there.
Josh is about 5'5",
and stylistically, I think Adrian Yanez, has great boxing as well, and he'd be able to keep him out of range.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Ito Portal? He was who I was thinking about when we were talking about the movement and the karate stance of Conor.
Touch butt with the dork in the park.
That's what Nate Diaz called him. I'm a fan of Ito. He looks great. I mean, the guy's in his late 40s, and he looks like $1 million. So. Is what he's doing really translating perfectly to MMA? I don't know. I don't think so. But, I do think he helped Conor with the, getting out of conventional movement for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. Roman Dolidze just pulled guard. Guys, we're 4 minutes, 35 seconds remaining in the first round. So we just started round one. Roman Dolidze versus Rainier de Ritter. We're already in a grappling situation. And you have to assume that though Roman Dolidze is considered a good jiu-jitsu artist and submission ace, he doesn't really have a lot of submissions in the UFC. Rainier de Ritter is probably a better submission artist under the rule set of MMA. I would assume this is exactly where Rainier wants this fight to be.
But pulling guard is a really odd
Yeah.
decision to make first,
And now he's trying to invert and just getting punched in the face.
he's not winning these exchanges.
He's got a bite on that leg, but Rainier is doing what he needs to do to avoid any sort of joint manipulation. All right. And as long as he can keep his foot planted on the ground, he should be okay for any heel hooks. Now, Roman's deep on that leg, so it'll be hard for Rainier to get his long leg back away from Rainier, from Roman. But
well, Rainier de Ritter is a really good jiu-jitsu guy without tremendous takedowns. And so when you pull guard against a guy who's really good at jiu-jitsu, you're basically giving him a takedown without having to work for it.
Right.
And now he's on top where you're not sweaty. And I mean, maybe Dolidze had something that he saw. Maybe he saw a heel hook or a knee bar or something off of an inversion that he could exploit. But
way too low percentage to do something like this when you guys are totally dry.
Right as the fight starts,
Yeah.
But Dolidze doesn't look good to me at 205, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah.
He looks very kind of soft. And
Yeah.
he wasn't a huge 185er to begin with.
The hair's not looking bad. Shout out Turkey. I'm sure that's where he went for that.
Yeah, De
Looks
Ritter
like he got a new
actually,
hairline.
he's got a nice cut going on as well. But yeah, this is really a silly way to start this fight for Roman Dolidze, and it may not last much longer. The ref looks like he's starting to step in.
We could be seeing the very end. Oh, he's inverting one more time. Nope. This is going to end if Roman Dolidze can't stop taking punishment.
RDR just continuing to pound
Ref is
away.
saying, "Move, or I
Ref
got to stop this fight." Roman is not moving with any urgency. I would assume ref will step in any second now.
Yeah. Oh, there he goes.
There goes
Roman Dolidze trying to invert, but De Ritter's doing a good job of keeping those hips pinned.
Yeah.
That was dangerously close to being over. Be interesting to see. I would not have expected a TKO victory for RDR from a ground and pound. I was expecting more submission if it was going to be a finish.
Yeah,
but
me too. And you never know with two guys moving up a division if they're just going to be unconditioned to carrying that extra 20 pounds or if they're going to be okay. Dolidze already looks like he's breathing out of his mouth, and RDR obviously can slow the pace down here, but this is exhausting.
RDR is going to a head and arm triangle here.
If he's not careful, he's going to get bucked off.
Yeah, he was a little heavy, a little far up there.
Yeah.
He's got 90 seconds to work. Looks like he's resetting the position now, and he's a little bit more solidified.
Easy step over the mount.
Big shots coming down from RDR.
Inspector Gadget arms coming through. 88 strikes on the ground to 2. Roman Dolidze has got to do something. This is just not ideal, and he's got 1 minute left. There's no way the ref is going to let him take unanswered shots.
Yeah, this is going to be stopped. Yeah,
for a full
TKO, Rainier de Ritter. Just over 4 minutes into round number 1. Really good 205 intro for RDR there, even though it was against a guy who truthfully is also a 185er.
Yeah.
Dolidze just hasn't looked good in a little while, man.
No. Rough go for him.
Yeah, Dan Hardy, stop the fight. Yeah, totally agree, man. He said he thinks it's UFC BJJ.
Yeah, maybe that's what Roman should go do.
I don't know. He didn't look too great in the jiu-jitsu either, but
beautiful elbows slipping through. Hell, send him to bare knuckle.
Nick's like you're quick to prescribe the bare knuckle retirement.
Oh yeah. Did you see Edson Barbosa came out and was like, "Guys, do not call me. Don't call my manager. I do not want to fight. Please don't call me."
Yeah.
Nope, not just bare knuckle, but anybody. He's like, "I am done."
He looked like he was
and
done.
I also heard that he's been blind in one of his eyes since 2024.
Partially blind, he said.
Partially.
Yeah, it looked. I mean, he's always kind of had that. I don't know how you describe it, but it looked worse than it ever has.
Rainier is emotional. He must be proud.
Edson said in bed, if he was playing with his kids at home, he's like, "This is where I like to be.
Yeah.
I don't want to go fight anymore."
When you're talking retirement, it's
time.
It's time.
The one that surprised me is Tom Aspinall recently said when he's getting his hand trapped in the back before a fight, he's like, "There's no place I'd rather be less than about to go into a fight." He said the nerves get to him crazy.
Yeah.
I guess in heavyweight, it's a little bit more different.
It's a little scary, yeah.
He said so. Base said he'd do BJJ, but wouldn't do anything with striking. I'm down to watch that. I'll watch Edson Barbosa do some jiu-jitsu. Maverick says RDR is huge. I totally agree.
Or maybe Edson should just go do that kick league. Have you seen that leg kick league where they just basically kick each other in the leg until somebody gives up?
Boy, they're trying to make anything work these days.
Yeah. I hate that football one. I mean, obviously, the clips are insane to watch, but that Oklahoma drill sport that they've got
that's
brutal.
Crazy.
90% of the time, both guys end up concussed and unconscious.
That's insane.
Both of them. It's like, who wins? Wow, Rainier must have had to do a lot of soul searching between his 185 run and now coming back, getting a win at 205. He's got to be happy.
Yes, Bisping does have a missing eye that he replaces with a glass eye.
Pretty gangster, not gonna lie.
Base said after power slap, what's next? So he said if you lose a fight, it's bad. If you lose two, it's
the end of the world. Been away from my kids for 8 weeks. He's just got to get home to his kids, man. You understand the pain that he's feeling, but also the emotions of winning, getting back in the win column.
I'm glad to see him get a W. Bisping asking him if he was surprised by just giving him the legs and going for the takedown.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to show off some knees and kicks, but he'll save it for next time.
Yeah. We'll give you the pass.
He should be ranked at 205 now. And in a division that's not crazy stacked, he could make some waves there.
For sure. He's got the frame for it. He's significantly bigger than Bisping, and Bisping's got shoes on.
Yeah. Bisping was asking him if he wished he had made this move earlier, and he's saying he doesn't look at life like that. He's here now, and he's happy to be here.
Good for him. Another quick finish, huh?
Yeah.
Time for a plethora of commercials.
Tons of finishes tonight, guys. It's 8:30 Central Time, and we're on the co-main event.
I like that.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Spent a little time in the sun today, and I can feel it.
Yeah, I'm a little burned on the shoulders myself.
Yeah. I feel it on my face. Not really.
MMA in a phone booth was my fave, says Base.
Oh, what about that car one? There's like car fighting where you both start in like a seatbelt.
It's so absurd.
Yeah. Oh, there's the sack man himself, Uriah Faber.
He does not look like he's 45 years old.
No. Dude's a stud.
He's going to Shanghai. You better get ready.
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah, which is so funny because Song is fighting as the main event in Shanghai and Uriah is his coach, but he's got to be here for this event. He had one of his events also yesterday. I saw Bisping and a couple of the guys were there for that.
That's cool.
Base says Spivak being told in the back to make sure his fight lasts 15 minutes. Yeah, that was brutal there.
Yeah.
Awesome, the Kaiki Britu Nemo Fazil is what we're seeing. Dude, that guy talked a whole bunch of smack. So next Tuesday, we got Bella Mir, the daughter of Frank Mir. I have officially been watching MMA long enough to have watched somebody compete as the champion and now watch their kid try to get into the UFC.
Isn't that insane? And
Bella
Mir is like,
she's a beast.
And she doesn't want to just stop at UFC. She wants to get the belt. She wants to box. She wants to wrestle in the Olympics.
She wants to do it all.
She wants to do everything.
She cornered Frank Mir one time.
Oh, did she?
It was the biggest waste of a corner person ever. Like, what the hell is she going to tell you?
Yeah.
And that was like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
She was like a teenager. For
sure. Vitor Petrino, looking gassed up and ready to go.
Yeah, he's looking good. Let me see. I have him to win. A lot of people picked Spivak, which was a surprise to me. But let me see what you guys think.
At heavyweight, man,
who
anything can
wins
happen.
the
This guy
co-main?
looks like he's got real athleticism and power. I had Petrino in my parlay, but that's history. I had RDR. I had Carly, but that Laren guy.
Leahy and Douglas.
Yeah.
Can you throw the graphics up on the screen?
Yeah.
Maya Lesnar. Yeah, she's a beast too. Joao Pereira. What's up? What's up, my friend? Thank you. And then Elise sent stars for 2 jewels. Thank you so much, Elise. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks for being in the chat.
Appreciate you.
Brock Lesnar's daughter and The Rock's daughter, they both like no questions asked. I know who child that is. They look just freaking like it.
Dwayne the Brock Johnson.
It kept my computer kept
Rock Lesnar
switching to like the name Spivak to spinach. It was auto correcting. It's like, no, I'm not trying to write spinach out. I'm trying to write
Sergey
Spivak.
Spinach.
Sergey Spinach is going to win
I
this.
did have a good fight team idea for a fighter because you said it earlier. Quillen, Sawkill.
Killing.
Killing Quill and Sawkill. That'd be a good one.
Or maybe his opponent should maybe take that. I'm gonna be the one to kill and come November 15th. I'm killing Quillen.
That'd be that'd be some good trash talk there. So Joao asked, did the fight start? Not yet. No. Looks like the co-main event's going to start in about 5 minutes or so, and then the main will be after that.
We're good at coming up with those different kind of names too.
Based said,
Cody
any
No
chance
Chin?
you're watching the card next week, Steven? I think it starts at like 5 a.m. for you. Yes, I plan to do it, my friend, unless things change. And I'll let you guys know on Thursday when I do my live stream with Moneyball, but I am planning to do it. So I will confirm that on Thursday. But the plan is for right now to go live for the Song Yadong Umar Nurmagomedov fight. And that'll be a good time. Like, what is that? Like an afternoon card for you. So it should be nice. So hopefully you'll swing through.
Yes. Scrawny Sean O'Malley. That's another one that we always thought would work.
If you were trying to trash talk O'Malley.
Yeah, Scrawny Sean. But
All
now
right.
I
Looks
love
like we're
Sean.
heavy on the Petrino so far. So
What in the-
67%. Good bit of commitment. Yeah, I'm trying my best, man. We're we're doing our best to put out the most amount of content that we can these days. And I think the one thing that's going to help these live streams grow is consistency. Like if you look at like MMA Guru and some of the others that do these live streams, they get big turnouts. They've just been doing them every weekend for years. And I think the algorithm eventually kind of, we had a breakout one last week that did over 30,000 views. So if we could make that more of a consistent thing, that would be amazing. So
Yeah.
I'm going to keep at it, man.
And we appreciate all the continued support, everybody, man. You guys are the best.
Yeah, this starts at 11 a.m. your time. That's good, man. Is the next card in China, Maverick asks. Yes, it is.
Wake up, have a little brekkie, and then
There you
is
go.
that what they
I
call
think
it?
you guys call it brekkie, right?
So that one you can have a little kimchi.
Eventually, you just get clipped enough.
Base Volk's
and,
in
yeah.
Australia, yeah.
No, he likes Volk, but he's in the UK.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Because I was watching some trash reality television, and they were talking about like
Ooh, Ronnie hit us with another good one. We can run real quick
What do we
before
got?
the. This one is going to be interesting. I want to see which way you go on this one.
okay.
2017 champ Rose Namajunas versus 2023 champ Alexa Grasso. Let me just go to Rose's championship run so I can refresh my memory.
I look at Grasso's performance when she got the belt, sort of like Cody's performance against Dominic Cruz. I think Rose.
She had a great night, you mean, basically.
Yeah, and I think Rose, very skilled everywhere, but she's more of a mental type fighter. She's either in it mentally or she's totally out of it. And that when she's out of it, she loses. Yeah. When she's in it, she's the best in the world.
Rose submitted the Karate Hottie on April 15th of that year.
Banger.
And then knocked out Joanna Jędrzejczyk in November of that year. So, yeah, I actually like Rose on that one. I think she's got good enough jiu-jitsu to not get submitted by Alexa. And I think in those days, she was kind of tenacious and electric on the feet. I'm going Rose Namajunas on this one. What do you think? I'm interested to know. What do you guys think? And hop in the chat as well. What do you guys think?
Drop a rose in the chat for Rose, because I know that's how I feel. I think I like Grasso too, but
I would say top 5 best knockout ever.
Macy Barber, yeah, that knockout was insane. Knockout submission, double up.
That was badass. In the year 2023, Alexa Grasso fought twice, both times against Valentina Shevchenko, and recorded 0 takedowns, landed 1 submission win in an overall takedown defense of 50%. In the year 2017, Rose fought twice and put together a dominant championship-winning campaign featuring 1 takedown landed, 1 submission wins, and a 0% takedown defense, defending 0 out of 1 takedowns. Yeah, I think that, yeah, solid. Thank you for the stats too. But I think, man, Rose in that era and to knock out Joanna Champion like that, I think I'm going to go Rose.
Me too.
I mean, submitting Valentina is badass. Like, that's a great feather in your cap. But at the end of the day, I think that Rose Namajunas back in those days is a little bit more tenacious, or was a little bit more tenacious than Grasso. Yeah,
And she was just so sharp on the feet. But they're 2 different weight classes too. So
yeah. Let's see here. In 2023, Alexa Grasso landed 143 out of 381 significant strikes, 2 championship bouts, averaging a 37% significant strike accuracy, which is not crazy, you know.
And Vitor Pedrino was on a strict diet of acai and Jesus to get that body.
Yeah, he is bodied up. So 2017 Rose 62 of 106 with 58.5% striking accuracy. Yeah, so this is making me more and more convinced for Rose. What are you taking on
Yeah,
that
I got
one?
Rose for sure on that. And I like Grasso. You know, I was shocked when she beat Valentina, but then the rematch happened and we saw that Valentina was able to get her belt back. So,
Yeah.
you know.
2 underdogs in the women that won a belt, Grasso and Pena. And it was just the other person, like you said.
Yeah.
Let's call it for the day. Let's go get our checks and get the hell out of
Yeah.
Yeah, Juliana Pena was a surprise to me. I was not expecting her to become a champion.
Striking in the entire UFC.
You were striking, and then somehow Raquel Pennington becomes champion.
Kayla Harrison versus Chris Cyborg, who wins? Definitely Kayla Harrison. Cyborg, I mean, Cyborg now for sure. Cyborg of old could maybe make things interesting, but I still think Kayla would get that.
That guy right there kind of looks like Scott Coker speaking.
He does. Can Ronda Rousey still win in the UFC? No, I don't
No.
believe so.
And Ronda wants nothing to do with fighting. She wanted to strike in exchange with Gina Carano far less than Gina wanted to.
She
Ronda
didn't
had
really
no
want to fight. She
business.
wanted to make a bunch of money and get in and get out
WWE style,
with a submission. And
as
that's
close
what she
to a
did, yeah.
script as you can get.
Ronda uses wrestling takedowns now instead of judo. Yeah, but I mean, that's
That was against
talking about
Gina
Gina Carano, you know, so
50
like
years old.
like anybody could look good against Gina Carano at this point in time, no disrespect to her, but I don't think she would have much success. Like looking at, and I know it's a different weight class, but like look at Carly Judice tonight. Like,
Yeah, Fatima Klein.
yeah, these girls there's a different level right now,
Totally
and Ronda's not there.
And Gina Carano was literally just like one of the first professional females.
Exactly.
You know, she was never that talented. She just didn't fight in an era.
She
where
had
anybody
one
was
method
good.
to victory that nobody could stop for a long time, which was judo, hip toss to an armbar, you
Yeah,
know,
Ronda,
and she
yeah.
did it very well.
Yeah.
Did they show UFC 332? It's new guy. What's up, man? Thank you for joining.
There you go.
They did not. I don't think they showed 332 tonight at all, did they?
No, they just gave the location for like 3.
Yeah,
Yeah, they gave the
334.
location and they gave the schedule for the rest of the year. So 334, I think, is that MSG 335. Did they say
Vegas.
the location in Vegas? So that 335 will end the year.
Lost wages.
32 could be Moreno, Figueiredo 7.
Yeah. Yeah, run it back.
All right, Sergey Spivak making his way into the octagon now.
This is the only one I can't remember. Did Derek beat him or did he beat
He beat Derek.
He beat Derek, yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. No, I wish they would show 332. We were trying to process of elimination, figure out who it's going to be. We kind of came to the conclusion that it's either going to be Yuri versus Costa, Chimaev versus Strickland, or the BMF belt with Diego Lopez fighting Oliveira. One of those three, I think, will be the 332 main event.
Yeah.
I don't know which one yet, but I would be willing to. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but I think we kind of narrowed it down.
Costa versus Yuri might be my front runner. Diego Charles secondary, and then I guess we can throw in a heavyweight. But I really don't think the heavyweights are going to jump this time.
Yeah, I don't think so. And like I said, it doesn't make any sense to do 2 Europeans in Salt Lake City, Utah.
No.
You have Madison Square Garden. You could run Tom at Madison Square Garden. You could run him in Vegas. But Salt Lake is a small market that's not a very English or French heavy market. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Now, if there was a Mormon champion, we could be really going.
Then for sure we'd know who's fighting on that one.
Maybe the Dagestanis look enough like the Amish.
Yeah.
Don't they shave their mustache too?
Yeah. They might do another Amanda Nunes main event. I don't think so because
Amanda
I don't think
only
Kayla's
wants-
ready to come back yet.
Amanda only wants Kayla.
She's not coming back for anything else.
Yeah, and Kayla's not ready yet.
We're split 50-50 on the poll here, guys. 50 for Petrino, 50 for Spivak.
I like that.
I picked Petrino by knockout here.
I picked Petrino to win, but my parlay is down. So,
Guys, remember too that we are going to go live immediately after the fight tonight and do an immediate recap where we basically stop this live and then go live again on a separate video. So that way we give our immediate thoughts and reactions to what happened. And you guys don't have to scroll through 3 hours of live stream of fight commentary to find our immediate post-fight thoughts. And so that there are 2 different videos that live on YouTube. It's kind of worked for us the last little bit. So we will cut the live when the main event wraps after the winner speaks to Bisping. And then we'll go give us about 10 or 15 minutes and we'll go live again for an immediate recap. That video will be out as well. All right.
and they've squared off, been announced, and any second now they are starting to fight right this second.
The heavyweights are underway for the main event, guys.
Co-main event.
Or co-main, yeah.
Touch of gloves, sign of respect, and we start with a leg kick from Pedrino.
Spivak just kind of standing stationary. Pedrino doing a lot more of the moving.
He is thicker than a Snicker.
Yeah.
Pedrino in the legs.
The
Look
dude
at that.
is big.
Those yellow pants look like the sun.
Like I said, well, you should have seen. I don't know if you were driving over here during the Anthony Wint fight.
I was driving,
but the dude was
bodied
stretching
up.
those pants out. Like he had
the loose ones on, and they looked like compression.
He was wearing like a double XL, and he was stretching those things out. I'd like to see who's got thicker thighs, him or Petrino.
Pause.
So yeah, a lot of Chris is like, somebody just joined the live. Like, what the heck are these idiots talking about?
I thought the same thing as someone in the comments. Polar Bear is a great fight name because it's the most dominant.
Nice inside leg kick to a jab there for Petrino.
And he kind of looks like a polar bear.
Yeah.
Definitely speed advantage is pretty apparent for Petrino. Spivak has thrown a couple of straight shots, but you can see that he's trying to figure out his entry here against a fighter who's younger and more explosive.
Very athletic, very explosive. He has that Vale Tudo Brazil hard style.
Yeah.
Rafael Alves all day long. Moves too well and too fast for their size, and is athletic, and everything hurts that they hit you with.
They don't spar for fun. They don't train for, like, they throw full clip in the training room. Yeah.
Everyday pohada.
Everyday pohada. And bowls of acai afterwards for this fella. But he's
injected right into the veins.
Very, very fast for a heavyweight, Nick.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I like this. Add another bodied up heavyweight to the division. It makes a lot of sense. You know, we got some real athletes jumping into the heavyweight. Yeah, and we always wondered when that would happen, right? We a lot of guys, and no disrespect to Spivak, but a lot of heavyweights have looked like that throughout the history of the UFC. Now we're seeing Wint, Gable Steveson, Petrino.
Spivak working a decent jab there.
Yeah.
Already a little bit of blood on the nose for the polar bear. But Spivak's got decent straight punches. Ooh, that was a beautiful front kick to the body there for Petrino.
Liver side too. Oh, nice kick.
1-2 to an outside leg kick for Vitor Petrino.
And when you're escaping like that, you can put so much weight on those kicks.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're almost like it's almost like a plant and run type of thing, and you're just dipping down all your weight into the kick.
Yeah.
That body kick. Look for Petrino to go to the head with something big here, because you start to see the hands dipping of Spivak a little bit. I don't think he liked that liver kick one bit.
I wonder if Armin would comment on this guy shaving his legs like he did with Ilya.
Probably not.
The guy gonna shave his ass.
Probably not. Spivak's still working a decent jab, still staying in there, but So far, it's pretty much been all Petrino. The speed and the quickness and the combinations have really been the difference maker here.
Spivak's got the Charlie Chaplin mustache of blood.
He does. He got his nose busted by one of those jabs, I believe it was. So it looks like Petrino really likes that slip to a rear side uppercut, but he hasn't landed it flush yet.
Yeah.
But it looks like that may be the shot he wants to try to use to get the fight finished.
Yeah. And rear side uppercuts are maybe the most fun thing to throw.
Yeah.
Right. It feels like it would be so devastating. You're bending down, you're throwing it, transferring the weight. What I've realized is the uppercut for me is much easier found with the lead hand. Once you get inside, then you find this nice angle. And you
rear side uppercut is that's a long traveling shot. You know, it's one of the ones that has to travel the furthest distance to hit the target. So you have to, kind of bear that in mind. All right, so Vitor Petrino still in command here with just over 40 seconds left in round number 1. Spivak still working a decent jab, but not much else. A good leg kick there again for Petrino.
Yeah.
And if you look here, Nick, at the significant strikes, almost or more than triple for Petrino. So clearly running away with this round.
Yeah, he's got way more activity. He's done way more damage. And he looks, honestly, a little fresher. Now, he's moving around and still bouncing well. And Spivak really hasn't been a bouncer ever. So maybe it's just styles, but it looks like he's both expending more energy and has more energy left.
Nice high kick there. Was quick for Spivak, but landed on the glove of Petrino.
Yep, and there's first round. Clear round for Petrino.
Vitor Belfort 300 violin orchestra walkout. There you go. There's a throwback.
Yeah. That was badass.
Is Fluffy next? Says Flat Pickin'. Yes, and thank you for jumping in the live. Yes, Fluffy versus Robocop. 2 incredible nicknames, by the way. 2 very unique nicknames. Both of those guys are getting it on after this co-main event with the heavyweights here.
Are we thinking this one goes decision, or are we thinking Spivak gets taken out?
I think that we got 10 more minutes with this speed differential, the body kicks.
And the body language, look at him. He kind of looks like he's not fully dialed in.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a TKO in this one. I think that Petrino's going to get the W by knockout.
There's Cutman Tate there doing his job.
See here, beautiful 1-2 there, or jab for Petrino. So it was that jab that exploded the nose.
Nice shot.
Here. All right, guys. Round 2 starting right now. All right, we got the clock going. So if you want to lock in and know where we are, just look at that time clock below. Petrino again right out of the gate with some fast movement. Clearly the more quick and athletic fighter. Beautiful jab to an outside low kick.
He finds those kicks often.
And
Beautiful takedown
attempt.
Yeah.
Body
hey,
lock.
But great scrambles from Spivak.
Spivak's interesting move there for Petrino, because look, he's expending a lot of energy to try to get Spivak down, and he finally has.
Yeah.
Off of 3 or 4 different shot attempts with the body lock to the insides and outside leg trips.
But that's tiring.
But very tiring, and Spivak's a great grappler.
Yeah.
Petrino was handedly winning this fight on the feet. Do you think this was potentially a mistake?
Yeah, it could be, because, I think he was in the driver's seat as far as the striking's concerned. I think he could have cooked Spivak and killed his confidence a little bit more in the first half of this second round, and then gone for a takedown, and maybe a demoralized Spivak would be more willing to give up. But I assume we're going to see some offensive attempts, maybe even from the back from Spivak here. But if he doesn't get up and start to get, something going, Petrino's for sure going to run away with this thing.
Good
and it's going to
force here for Petrino. Yeah. He's not just peppering those; he's throwing those hard.
Yeah, and that's spleen side. But if he can start doing that to the other side, the liver side, you can really, really start to mess with Spivak's cardio.
Base Volk just posted Anthony Smith is now back home. He just posted. I'm actually glad to hear that, man. I don't know the full story of what happened there.
Does that mean he posted bond? Is that what that means?
Yeah, well, back home would assume that he's back with his family.
Yeah.
Not
in the clink.
Yeah, and his wife did come out and say that the situation was blown up, but Big punches now. I am glad to hear that, though. A couple of elbows there for Petrino. Spivak just really locking up a closed guard and trying to keep the posture of Petrino down. But Petrino's doing a pretty good job of intelligently posturing up and landing some big elbows and punches here.
And now he's got Spivak crammed against the wall, which head against the wall, unable to actually utilize your spine in its full elongated position, makes things very difficult. You're now just sort of huddled up, and your hips are both killed and the neck. And so once you have those two things immobilized, you really can't do much except for turn over, and then usually it gets worse from there. So I would assume unless Petrino makes a massive mistake, this round will end here or end in a finish.
Yeah, and he's starting to really rack up some damage on Spivak here. Spivak is doing a good job of keeping the posture broken, and the guard is now no longer closed, but keeping the posture broken is just the beginning of what you need to do. You need to, there's 120 seconds that Petrino can just rain shots down here. Yeah. Spivak really needs to have some urgency to get out of this. Big elbow for Petrino there. This could be close to being over here with some of these big shots. Yeah, as Biz being said that Beltran is monitoring it closely. Petrino, okay, he's now taking full mount. This is getting worse by the second now with 90 seconds to go for Spivak.
Oh, what
Petrino
are you doing?
Looking for a gift wrap here. So Mike Beltran saying don't grab the glove, but Petrino is basically in a modified mount, just raining shots down on Spivak.
But giving up top position. Well, he got it right back. That's good.
So Petrino back in full mount. Spivak really just holding on for dear life, keeping the posture broken down. Let's see.
That must feel like a cinder block just sitting on you.
Yeah, that's not fun. And Spivak is going to just absolutely cook his hands trying to keep a guy of that size broken down like that.
Yeah.
39 seconds left in the fight. Big shots here for Petrino. Yeah. Or in the round, excuse me. Petrino now looking for a rear naked choke. Back to the modified mount again.
Not doing enough damage.
So Spivak did a really good job of shucking him off there.
What I say, the fight would end, the round would end there unless Petrino made a massive mistake, and there was your mistake.
He overshot, and Spivak used that to hip bump off, and now Spivak is working towards the back of Petrino, but there's 7 seconds left in the round. Yeah. This is probably going to end right here, but decent escape there from Spivak in a round that otherwise was a dominating round for Petrino.
Yeah.
All right, 30-second break, and we're back with round 3, says Paul Felder. All right, so would you give that one a 10-8, Nick?
No, he didn't do enough damage.
Yeah, it was pretty dominating, but
it didn't look like Beltran was actually going to step in and stop the fight at any point. I usually, once a 10-8 happens, I usually see somebody getting to the brink of being stopped.
Yeah.
So,
there can be a 10-7. Yeah. Spivak's coach is trying to instill some oomph in him as we go into this third and final round. The look on the face of Spivak is not good. Mouth wide open, seems to be kind of checked out and defeated.
Yeah. Mentally, he does not appear to be there.
Let's see if we can get a look at Petrino here. Yeah, Petrino seems still pretty fresh. It'll be interesting to see, though, if Petrino gassed himself a little bit with those takedowns and, the transitioning on the top position. He still appears to have quite a bit of pop in his step there. Big exchanges out of the gate. Spivak's probably going to go for the knockout here because he knows he needs one.
Yeah.
Which could open up him getting clipped with a big shot or him catching Petrino. So it's going to be interesting to see the first couple minutes of this round before he starts to tire.
Petrino just built like a superhero.
He is.
Movie.
He's huge, man.
Yeah.
That jab to the outside leg kick has been there all night for Petrino.
Yeah, and he fades over to the power side, but still chunks that leg as he's leaving the striking range. Really nice.
Beautiful 1-2 there, but it was kind of moved out of the way of by Spivak. Nice outside leg kick for Petrino.
Who would have thought
big
the
punch for
heavyweights
Spivak there, and we're back to a grappling offensive for Petrino.
You know, Petrino was taking pictures with a fan that for sure thought he was Pereira.
Yeah, I met Alex Pereira.
This is what everybody expected Alex Pereira's body to look like at heavyweight.
Not just BBL Pereira.
BBL Pereira. All right, so Petrino is now working towards the back of Spivak again, and he's got just about 3.5 minutes to make something happen here. Or not, he doesn't need to make anything happen, actually. He could sit right here for the rest of the fight, but Spivak needs to have some urgency. A couple of shots there for Petrino.
Got one hook in, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do much with the cage being there. He can't throw that other leg around.
No, and I would honestly just stick to the ground and pound. That's, you know, every time he tries to transition into a submission or take the back, that was when Spivak had his moments of either near escape or full escape.
Mm-hmm.
Just stay in mount and just finish this fight out.
I agree.
I mean, obviously try to get the finish. The finish is what you want to see, you want to go for here, but Based Volk said I knew there was some truth in it when I said they were going to make this thing 15 minutes. Yeah. Who would have thought after a night full of finishes, Carly Judice and, you know, all of the ladies getting finishes, that the big old heavyweights would go decision. But we are 2 minutes and 30 seconds away from that being a reality.
You know what Petrino could do? You remember Kamaru Usman's famous foot stomps? What if he's just started stomping the calves of a guy down like that? I feel like you could, you know, the calf muscles are so small and it really sucks to get kicked there. If you started putting big heel strikes into the back of somebody's calf.
All right, we're back to the feet. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. I'd like to see somebody try that. We're back to the feet, and Petrino's back to that jab to the outside low kick. Both guys wearing a little bit now.
Yeah. Carrying all that muscle. It's not going to be good for 5 rounds if we ever do see Petrino in that environment.
Yeah, he's starting to take some step backs, disengage, and take deep breaths, and then re-engage. I mean, so far he's still putting shots up, but he definitely cardio is a factor here, you can see.
Yeah. And look, he wants that number 6 slot. I don't know if he'll get that off this coming from unranked, but
that's why I'd like to see him go in this last 60 seconds for a finish. You know, you got a chance against the number 6 guy in the world for, you know, a co-main event in a fight night that's not in the Apex. There's a crowd, you know, go for that finish. A little bit more, right?
Yeah, 100%. And now he's kind of running away, just dealing with the clock, letting the time beat Spivak.
Spivak's going to need to take some chances here in the last 50 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like he's breathing heavy so he can have one more big flurry. But every kick seems laborious. You know, he just threw that and looked exhausted after trying to throw a head kick.
Yeah, Dominic Cruz just said it very well. Petrino's trying to fight safe at the same time. So
yeah, but you don't love that. The crowd's letting him hear it, obviously.
And we are 23 seconds away, ladies and gentlemen, from this one being over. And the heavyweights, in fact, going decision.
10 seconds remain. If Spivak's going to do something, he better do it now. And that's all we got,
ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to run to the restroom real quick.
Vitor Petrino definitely solidifying that one, 30-27, potentially even 30-26 on some of the judges' scorecards. We'll see how this goes. So let's see here. Base it. I saw they're using the meta rankings for the co-main, but media rankings for the main. It's kind of weird. Yeah, that is kind of weird. You would think they would be consistent on the card. Like, which ones are we going to use? Is it going to be card specific? Are we just going to switch to using one or the other, which would probably be the best thing to do? But the fact that they're using different ones for the main and the co-main, that is a little bit odd. So what do you guys all think on that one? 30-27 for Petrino, right? I mean, I guess you could make a case for round 2 being a 30-28, but let me know. Drop your scorecards in the chat.
Just keep an eye. I got to pee as well.
All right. Seems like whichever has a lower number they use to make the fight look bigger than it is. Yeah, that's a good point. They're based 30-27. Yeah, same for me as well. And then we are on to the main event of the evening, Fluffy versus Robocop. I will change the poll up now that we are squarely on the main event. Who wins the main of the Sacramento? Fluffy or Robocop? I'm going with the fight names in this one, guys, because they're so unique. If my computer would actually work, that'd be nice. All 3 judges have it 30-27. Vitor Petrino, 30-27. All right. Vitor Petrino is now with Michael Bisping.
No 10-8 rounds, eh?
Base had got any packs today could have done with the amount of ads we had. Dude.
Yeah, for real.
I know. I need to go get some more. They like there's a section. I don't know if you guys have it in the UK. There's a store called Target that's around the corner from my house that has the hobby boxes and some of the like boxes that we get. And dude, those things, like I'll go there sometimes and the shelves will be full, and then I'll go back like 2 days later and there'll be nothing there. I need to go back when and they have like a 2-pack minimum, like you can't buy more than 2. So we've been finding some places online where you can order them. I need to order a stack of them so we have some for all the openings, but good call on that. No, I don't have any today. Fluffy came into my gym I was training at way back 2010 or so. Morrissey Elite Training Center in Woodland, California. I hope he wins. That's awesome, man. Very cool. Thanks for being here in the live, by the way, too.
Fluffy, I've heard is a really nice guy.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Never met him.
Very, very friendly. We have an England equivalent, which I believe is owned by the same company. Very possible.
Oh, that's cool.
So we are very heavy with Fluffy in the chat so far. 100% taking Fluffy to win the fight.
Okay.
And we are to our main event, ladies and gentlemen. All right. He's cool. He always whooped me on the wrestling. Yeah. You and everybody in the UFC too, except for Sean Strickland. So yeah, he's way stronger than he looks. And he's very tenacious too. He's got great cardio. And really, he'll just shoot and reshoot and just keep the pressure and pace on you. He's a very good fighter. I mean, he just ran into Sean Strickland, who's the champion. I mean, Sean Strickland just beat Hamzat. So, Fluffy is a guy who I think can still make a title run. I wonder, Nick, do you think that Fluffy could tighten up the diet a little bit and fight at 170?
Maybe, but I think some of it comes down to genetics, right? And he just doesn't have that body that's ever going to be ripped to shreds. So then you're compromising cardio potentially. And I'd
love to see if he could lose like 10 pounds of body fat, where that would put him.
Yeah. He's not like a Kelvin Gastelum for me. I don't see him like that. Like, man, Kelvin should have been a 155.
Yeah, Kelvin that was a lack of discipline. I'm not really like saying that Fluffy's is a lack of discipline, but his body's a little bit softer than most high-level UFC fighters, that are not heavyweights.
Well, and like we were talking about earlier with the weight cuts, Dricus du Plessis is significantly bigger than Fluffy. Yeah. Like significantly bigger. And that's just, he's more built for 185 in the modern era. But yeah, Fluffy could make 170, I bet, because he just has the fat. You can see the fat.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it would be beneficial to him.
Let's see here. Joao asked, do you think Merab has a chance? Yeah, Merab's always got a chance. Am I picking him to win? I haven't made my mind up yet, but I'm leaning towards Peter Yan, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Merab has been through some wars. He's getting older. Peter has such a difficult style to beat. When you have somebody who can grapple and neutralize the takedown and then is just elite on the feet, I think Peter Yan is the move there.
Yeah.
Only good fight on the card. I've got Robocop here bringing the heat by KO.
Let's go.
Okay, so we got one Robocop, says Drizzy Goat.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the power. He's going to be much bigger than Fluffy when they square off in the cage.
So this is interesting. So Flat Picking said, because he's seen Fluffy before in person, trained with him on the wrestling mats, he's no bigger than Nick Diaz. And if that's the case, I really feel like he could do 170.
Yeah, because we've met Nick Diaz in person.
And he wasn't much bigger than me, and I'm nowhere near 185er.
He's about 5'10", 180. 190, maybe.
Drizzy says Peter Yan's going to KO Merab this time. He's a high-level striker. Yes, he is a high-level striker.
Maybe the highest level.
But, he's certainly one of the best in the UFC. And that would be crazy to see. The question is, what do you guys think? Is if Peter Yan beats Merab again, is he the GOAT of bantamweight? I'll ask you that question, Nick.
And Peter Yan is just that guy. Obviously, I think I've told the story once or twice here on the channel. But whenever I was at the PI and I go to open the locker room door, I pull it towards me, and as I'm pulling it towards me, it's getting pushed my direction as well. It was Peter Yan, and not everybody's allowed in a PI, right? You have to go in there through it's almost like scheduled appointments. So, okay, we got the 5:30 slot. So we show up, we sign in, move in like we're going to change in the locker room before we go onto the mats. And I am the same size as Peter Yan. Look, when we look at each other, we're dead centered in the eyes, same height, same size. And not everybody can get into the PI unless you're basically a UFC fighter or with a camp. So he did this full up and down sizing up of me. And I'm like, he definitely thinks I'm one of the guys in the bantamweight division.
Yeah.
And he's like, who is this guy? And will I have to kick his ass someday?
I'm going to I'm not going to be friendly to this guy.
Not friendly at the very beginning, but then we ended up cracking jokes with him and chatting with him in the locker room when he came back in. And then we saw him there another day or two in a row. So that was funny. But Peter Yan, that's where I came up with the cauliflower face.
Yeah,
because
rough looking face.
His face is cauliflower to every bit of it. Just a tough dude.
So Maverick says Aljo is the GOAT. And then I was going to respectfully disagree, but then you said it was a joke. So, because Merab is my GOAT right now.
Yeah.
2017 to 2019, Tony Ferguson versus 2026, Patty Pimblett. Ronnie, thank you again, my friend. Let's look at Tony's run was so epic. I don't remember which fights were in which years.
If that was up to the Justin Gaethje fight leading up to that, I think I'd have to go Tony Ferguson. I think he's more of a complete striker, and Tony's grappling was really good.
Tony was that guy. Dude.
Now, the only person I thought could submit Tony was Khabib, and I don't think Patty, even though his submission skills couldn't have been more on display in his last fight against BSD, I still don't think he's quite the submission ace that Khabib was.
Okay, so end of 2016, so we won't count it. He beat RDA by decision, but he on October 7th of 17, he submitted Kevin Lee with a triangle, which Kevin Lee was like a lot of people thought he was hot stuff back in the day. Anthony Showtime Pettis, TKO corner stoppage in 2018, and then also a doctor's stoppage. So he's just bludgeoning people. Donald Cowboy Cerrone in 2019. Yeah, I love Patty. I think Patty's fun. I do think Patty actually could become a champion someday. The division needs to shake out a little bit, but
the boogeyman was the boogeyman.
The boogeyman was the boogeyman for a reason. Was it 11 or 12 fight win streak? 12 fight win streak without an undisputed. That's
stopped by none other than Justin Gaethje, who I have to remind you is the world champion in 2026.
Yeah. Let's see what Ronnie is hitting us with some stats again. If we compare Get Nick with Tony right now, thank you, Elton. Yeah,
honestly, 100%. We just have to start spamming Misfits on the comments. So y'all go over to Instagram, keep tagging me, putting me on the Misfits. If it's Tony, I'm in. If it's Henry Cejudo, I'm in. If it's Dean the Great, I'm in. Hell, if it's Adrian Broner, I'm in.
I don't know about that, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is
You
he
know
gonna
what?
be in a boxing match?
Yeah, pure boxing. I'll weaponize pace, and I'm going straight to that body.
Straight to the liver.
Yeah, I'm
knock
going-
some of those
yeah.
mixed drinks out.
Knock that cirrhosis around.
If we compare all 9 of Paddy Pimblett's entire UFC career versus 9 of Tony Ferguson's fights from 2015 to 2019, during his prime 2015 to 19, Tony Ferguson's precise striking accuracy,
Yeah.
52%. Yep, Paddy Pimblett maintains 52% as well. Okay. Tony's
And
successfully defended 18 out of 24 takedown attempts from his opponents during that time period. And
his scrambles were so
Takedown,
high
yeah.
level. I'd have to go Tony Ferguson.
yeah, I think I'm going Tony.
But I think Paddy nowadays.
Paddy smokes Ferguson, stops sounding like casuals. What do you mean? Like, okay, so think about, we're not talking about Tony today, right? We're talking about 12 wins in a row. This was right before he lost, right? So this was win number 10, 11, and 12 of a 12-fight winning streak.
Remember, everybody
And he
thought
was knocking everybody. Like, that's Anthony Showtime Pettis was a champion. Paddy Pimblett was never a champion. Donald Cerrone was a great fighter back in those days. Like, let's just look at the whole.
a lot of people thought that Tony was the guy that could beat Khabib. And I don't think anybody would say, even right now, that Paddy would be the guy of today to beat prime Khabib.
Yeah. So like Gleason Tabo, submission. At UFC 184. Josh Thompson, decision. Edson Barbosa, submission. Lando Venata, submission. RDA, former champion. Showtime Pettis, former champion. Like multiple
Yeah.
former champions here. Fighters that gave Khabib a tough fight. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Right
Yeah.
now, it's not a competition.
yeah, yeah, of course it's not a competition right now. We're taking prime Tony Ferguson here. So totally agree with you. Drizzy Goat, I think you might be the odd man out on this one, my friend. But, I mean, Paddy's really good. I'm
In
not
a
saying
fight,
that
anything
you're-
can happen. Yeah.
It's a fight. I'm not saying that you're wrong.
And also,
But-
it might be hard for Tony to finish Paddy because Paddy's proven to be just as durable as Tony was during that long winning streak.
Yeah, exactly.
5 rounds, but then El Kukui seems to have good cardio through 5 rounds. So I think you'd get a decision back then. But
Paddy
obviously,
stops prime for. I don't see how you think he stops prime Ferguson.
I mean,
but-
maybe he can, but he'd have to catch him dead to rights.
would he
in a
submit him?
submission? Yeah, but again, Tony's scrambles were crazy back in the day, truly crazy. And some of his, he's even been in really deep submissions, and I remember him getting out of them.
yeah. Tony dropped Justin Gaethje. Paddy couldn't, says Ronnie. Good point there, Ronnie.
Need I remind you, was it Beneil Dariush that completely like dislocated his knee through a heel hook and he just didn't tap? So Beneil was like, I just had to let go of that and go do some
Yeah.
other stuff because once you kind of do a submission to its entirety to completion.
Yeah, once you complete a heel hook and they don't tap, there's nothing more you can do.
How do you submit that guy?
If you
just
break
have to
a
choke
board
him.
in half, you can't put it together and
Yeah.
re-break it. You know.
A heel hook goes from hurting like hell to not hurting at all if you don't tap. There's nothing else left to tear.
Do you guys care about the Chris Cyborg fight? Honestly, I did when she was like on the right side of 40. I mean, she's 41 right now. Ketlin Vieira missed weight by 7 or 8 pounds. To be
I'm
honest,
out.
I'm not really excited about that fight.
No.
Miss Chuck Liddell era. Yeah, Chuck Liddell, the Iceman, was fun.
Yeah. And did you see Chuck Liddell like hit a takedown on Giorgio Poulos not
Yeah.
too long ago?
I
Pretty
did.
badass.
Justin says we really should be looking at Ferguson's record starting at Kikuno up until Lee. Since after Lee, he had that devastating knee injury. Very good point.
Yeah.
And then Sean, what's up, Sean? Welcome. Thank you for being here. I think Robocop has this. Fluffy is too small. If he had power, sure, but I just don't see his path besides completely draining Robocop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this could wind up being a fight where Fluffy needs to take RoboCop into the deep waters of the championship rounds. RoboCop is a slower guy, so as long as Fluffy can stick and move and avoid the big plotting shots that are waiting for him from RoboCop, he could make RoboCop punch air for most of this fight.
Yeah.
You know, But if he gets into an exchange, then all hell breaks loose, and Fluffy winds up getting hit. I don't know if he's as durable as he once was. That's what worries me, is him getting roped into a firefight.
Yeah, just looking at the lines here. So 66% on Kalshi for Anthony Hernandez, 34% for Robocop. So most people still, and it's actually moving in the direction of
more for
Fluffy. Yeah, which is interesting to me because I thought that it would close. I thought people would start to take the dog here.
Yeah,
just because of the optics and the power and such. Whoa. We got Drizzy Goat, Ronnie. I would knock you out. Just know that, bro. But dude, that's not what this is about, man. Come on. Now, Ronnie is saying that you're right, but you don't form any arguments other than the quote, "I'm right." Sounds like a cat. That's a fair criticism, Drizzy. You're just saying that I know, but what's the rebuttal other than Patty folds Tony, right? So I think Ronnie has a very valid point here. What is your basis for that, right? Because we're talking about Tony Ferguson at the end of one of the most epic, possibly the most epic streak in all of lightweight history that didn't crescendo into a title.
Yeah. And look, we want to keep this community as friendly as possible. If you got shots, you want to fire them somewhere, fire them at me, but you guys should be friends.
Yeah. And Ronnie, you're the man, dude. So thank you for continuing to pose these things to us. And of course, thank you for the donations. By the way, did you see if you could find any of those emojis that are accessible to the channel members? Because you're the only channel member in the chat right now. So if you have, we put them in there. We're trying to add as much as we can for the channel members, guys. And by the way, we just started doing that. Nick and I had talked about how we want to build that side of things out because there's a few people that have joined now as channel members. And we just priced it at $5 a month. And we're going to start to do some members only content. We're going to, obviously you see the emojis here that Ronnie has, and there's going to be some different things that you can use in the chat. When we start to do the fighter interviews that I do, a lot of the questions that we pull for those will come from the channel members. So if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. But also if you like the content and you want to get a little bit extra, consider becoming a channel member for $5 a month. Nick and I's promise is we're going to try to pack $50 worth of value into the $5. That's our goal. I don't know if we'll hit it early on, but thank you for those of you that are supporting us from early on. There we go. So he got one up there. Can you throw that up there, Chris, and see what it looks like? Okay. Oh, Chris has got the StreamYard up, so it's not working on his end. So thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate you doing that. Yeah.
Drop it in the chat if y'all want to get some sparring footage on that premium channel, because I've got some teammates that, a lot of gyms and coaches like to keep the sparring behind, no cameras allowed, and they want to keep things specific. I'm an open book. I'm okay to move around and show you guys what I'm working on. I've got some teammates who are down to do the same. We have some locations we can get some good content. It may be a bit more raw, right? Just sparring footage and some other stuff, little chats in the gym. But if that's something you guys are interested in seeing on the premium side of things, let us know, and we will definitely make that happen. But we obviously are going to be making a lot of content where we're in front of microphones and not on a mat of some sort.
For sure. And Sean, thank you. I see that comment there. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate that. We look forward to it. Thank you for watching our content for a while, man. That means a lot.
And by the way, guys, Robocop and Fluffy are squaring off. They're seconds out. We should see them touch gloves here any second. Fluffy Hernandez looks ready. Robocop looks ready. Different facial expressions than what we saw out of Spivak. The size difference is palpable.
It's stark. Yeah, Robocop is a big fella, but Fluffy's just really not. Okay, so Fluffy immediately shot in. Robocop didn't seem like he had much trouble defending that takedown. Now we're up against the cage here. Let's see what Fluffy can work and put together. So far, Robocop just kind of has an overhook over the left arm of Anthony Hernandez here.
The Sacramento crowd didn't come to see a cage match, an up against the cage match.
No, they came to see the Sacktown crowd loves a good. But in fairness, even if this main event doesn't necessarily deliver,
they've got some good bangers.
Yeah. I mean, there's been knockout after knockout. Nice elbow over the top there for Fluffy. Good knee answer by Robocop there.
And here's an interesting thing about this fight. Obviously, Fluffy's faster. He can probably move a little bit better on the outside, but he likes to be on the inside. And so both men will probably have their best moments in these close situations. Fluffy obviously utilizing the cage and doing the grappling. And then Robocop looking for clean breaks and ways he can score big shots while they're separating. So it's going to be interesting to see. And I think Robocop has that power to really land big shots, even if he's only, landing like what did Bruce Lee call it? Like the 1-inch punch, right? Even if he's only able to throw it from a very small distance away, I think he can still actually do some damage.
Yeah. This is a little concerning for Fluffy, right? He's been working takedowns to essentially no avail, and he's tried a couple of different varieties of takedowns, and Robocop doesn't even seem like he's really working hard to defend them. Now, can Fluffy win this fight on the feet? Yeah, he probably can. But at the end of the day, you don't want to be trading punches with Robocop because he does have that electrifying power.
Yeah, and maybe his game plan, Fluffy's that is to force Robocop into these isometric holds and make his arms and his legs a little bit more tired from dealing with this. Right now, he's basically just elbowing the trap of Fluffy, looking for some sort of over-the-head strike, but he's not really going to find the angle with any sort of power there. Better in this situation, it's better for Robocop to. Yeah, that was beautiful.
Nice drop down to a double there, but Robocop is doing a good job of defending it. And it seems like Fluffy's literally having a hard time picking him up off the ground.
Yeah. I mean, he's athletic, and I bet you right now he weighs 215.
Probably somewhere in that range.
Somewhere right around there.
Now, the question is Robocop going to gas as this fight goes on?
Yeah, because we know Fluffy doesn't really go away.
We know Fluffy's not going to gas.
Yeah.
So, nice jab there for Robocop.
Yeah.
But the size difference, as you said, is just so stark. I mean,
and the speed difference. Look at how slow Robocop is, but somehow he's still able to land.
Yeah, he's landing that jab well, and nice hook there for Robocop. Yeah, Fluffy can't let Robocop start to put combinations together because he'll put that power behind the jab and it'll be bad. So, okay.
Robocop could also be a bad guy in a movie. You talk about, you put him in a suit.
Oh, okay. Robocop just
Big
landed
shot.
a nice straight there.
Okay. Oh, another 3-2. Both seem to land to some extent.
Yeah, Robocop is starting to put together the punches here. And a little concern on the face of Fluffy Hernandez. He's
beautiful. Staying in the pocket,
himself.
finding his two of his own. Nice straight shot. But Robocop he's got a big head.
Good body shot there for Robocop. And then Anthony follows it up with a double jab to a straight, and we're back against the cage again. Yeah, so the first 5 has kind of
beautiful elbow on the break.
Elbow. That one opened up Robocop.
It looks like there's a little blood there. Yep.
And I guess you got to give this round to Fluffy, right? I mean, Robocop has just kind of been put against the cage for most of the round.
Yeah. He's landed a couple shots, but I'd say cage control, damage, and basically just more offense and more, shoot.
Okay, Robocop with some big hammer fists there when Fluffy had to adjust there. I don't think he liked that one bit.
Fix that posture, get your head up by his. Now, I would actually like it if Fluffy would put his head under Robocop's chin. That'll kill the posture and really affect his ability to move. This also makes it very uncomfortable. But
somebody asked, who is Fluffy? Can you use real names? Fluffy's real name is Anthony Hernandez, and Robocop is Gregory Rodrigues. But these are two guys that go by their nicknames more often than they go by their actual names, and so the fan base generally knows them by Robocop and Fluffy.
And the body types will tell you. I mean, Fluffy was named Fluffy because he doesn't have the body of Robocop.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I really believe that Fluffy can fight at 170. I think he just looks so undersized here. Hernandez or Rodrigues. I picked Hernandez. I'm not really liking what I'm seeing out of him in this first round. He had a real trouble putting together any type of wrestling offensives against Rodrigues, which is a big problem. Now, what he needs to do is try to take this into deep waters and see if he can tire out the big man. So we'll see how that goes. And based, I saw your suggestion too behind the paywall stuff, the fighter interview stuff. That's so what we're thinking, and that needs to be public. I totally agree with you. What we're thinking about is doing it like a day or two early and then ad free, and then doing like an extended cut, like maybe 20 or 30 minutes after the hour and a half podcast, we do, something that lives behind the members only thing. So with what we're going to do, that was a beautiful straight 1-2 for Hernandez there.
Yeah.
But we will try to make it the most valuable YouTube members only that we possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah. We want to give you guys way more than $5 worth of content. And that's why we're trying to think of different things, right? We'll do the sparring stuff. Hell, maybe even me and Steven will get some footage in where we're training together. I think you guys might enjoy that.
Yeah,
and,
big brother beating up on little brother.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that in a little while.
Yeah, it's been a while since I got my ass kicked by you. But yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I think some of the conversations at the gym that I have with some of my teammates and stuff, nothing groundbreaking, but just sort of the hangs. I think you guys might enjoy some of that as well.
All right. So round 2, Robocop with some good groundwork or some good low work with the calf kicks there, some good body shots. Hernandez is really the story of this fight so far, guys, has been really just that Hernandez has been desperately trying to get a takedown that he has so far been unsuccessful with on getting with Robocop. Robocop's got great takedown defense, and he's just
that strength is a real.
He's throwing his size and strength around here a little bit.
It's a real issue.
Yeah, it's what do you do, Nick, if you're Hernandez and you've attempted now a half dozen or more takedowns and not gotten any of them?
You keep doing what you're doing. Score a couple good points out on the open, and then close that distance. As long as you've
knocked
huge
Fluffy
calf
down
kick.
with that calf kick there. Robocop's piling it on now. Beautiful knee.
Good intelligence though by Fluffy. That leg is.
I don't know if Fluffy's even going to be able to get up from that. He's down again off the calf kick.
He can get up. He's going to get up. Kick the leg again. Might as well.
Yeah, big concern.
Okay,
on the
he
face of
switched
Fluffy.
stances
Switching
now.
stances here. That leg is really
the
compromised.
face just wide open for a shot.
He just put big he had a big wince on his face when he put pressure on that leg. I think that leg is cooked.
It's weird. Robocop telegraphs when he's going to strike, but you don't exactly know what he's going to hit you with or where he's going to send the strike. So it's weird. He kind of hands low. You don't know if he's going to go to your body, if he's going to send a kick, or if he's going to punch you in the face. There you go. There's another example. Oh, man. Fluffy's in deep water
he's in
right
big
now.
trouble here.
But Fluffy, he's got his wits about it.
He's down again off that calf kick. Yeah, that leg is cooked, man.
Yeah.
Robocop transitioning to the back here.
Once that
now
calf
full
goes,
mount.
yeah.
This is worst case scenario for Anthony Hernandez here.
Yeah. And he's got to do all this basically utilizing one leg. Oh, okay.
Robocop is now in the half guard. I almost would be inclined to let him back up if I'm Gregory Rodrigues because he has that leg so compromised.
What's
right?
the line on call she doing now?
I'm sure it's gone berserko in the favor of Rodrigues. Shout out to Moneyball. She's probably not in the chat anymore because she's at the event, but she picked Robocop to win this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all were split on that one, huh?
We did. Yeah. I picked Fluffy.
Robocop's just a unit.
Fluffy's still working. God bless him, man. Still working a single leg takedown.
That's the thing.
Something happened there, Chris?
It froze for a second. But it kept up the timing.
Oh, he's down again
shot.
off that leg kick. I don't think he can stand anymore. A couple more of those and this fight's over.
Just switch stances and stay in the other stance.
Yeah,
you just got to do it. It might suck to fight southpaw, but you just got to do it.
Dude, Fluffy's still game, man. Look at how
Yeah. Well, he
just
found a
standing
shot.
in the pocket, throw, and he
Yeah.
landed a nice straight there.
Don't you switch that stance. You stay in southpaw.
Stay in southpaw. I don't care if you've never trained that before. You cannot absorb another one of those calf kicks.
No.
Exactly. As soon as I say it, Paul Felder says it. Like,
Yep.
stay
Oh,
in.
he's an
There you go.
orthodox.
Throw down.
There it is.
Look, there you go, Fluffy. And he's in on a takedown.
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
Listen to the
crowd.
crowd. And he
he
got
gets
the
it. He
takedown
finally
before the
gets
bell
it.
ends. Oh my God. What a way to end a round. Now, you got to give that round to Robocop.
You have to.
But to come back like that just lit a fire in Fluffy like you can't imagine. He just went, okay, I'm a dog.
I can do this,
I'm going to
yeah.
get through this. Now, it's going to be tough. He's going to have to fight the whole rest of the fight in a
This is wild. Now, the one thing about Fluffy here is that he must come back out in that southpaw stance, and he just needs to take chances like he did there. Robocop he carries a lot of takedowns. You just come out in the southpaw and do exactly what you just did. Put punches in his face and, mix it up. And when you see your opportunity, go for that takedown. But you can't he's literally one calf kick away from this fight being over.
right.
Because I don't think he can stand if he gets kicked on it again. Robocop would have to do is just walk away and force him to stand up. He wouldn't be able to, and Herb would have to stop the fight.
Yeah.
So,
Man.
are we good, Chris?
Yeah. It appears to not be bothering anybody.
It's frozen on my end, but let me know, guys, if it's frozen on y'all's end.
Not frozen
The
on
chat
my
froze up here a second. LXL VCT Fluffy has a heart. You got that right.
Yeah,
my
and
friend.
he's a southpaw now. And he has way more tenacity to get that takedown. He got it.
And he
secures top position. And let's see what he does with this.
right out of the gate. Fluffy is working the back of yeah. Let me turn my Wi-Fi off on my phone. It seems like we're having a little bit of technical difficulty here, guys. Hopefully the stream is coming through clear for you guys as Anthony Hernandez
going with a
goes
face
for a
crank right
rear
now.
naked
Robocop,
choke.
man.
This is insane.
I don't think Robocop had that on his bingo card.
What
after
a
that
turn
second
of
round.
events, man. I thought after the second round, like there's no way that he's going to be able to take this guy down until the end of that round there.
Yeah, sometimes when your back's against the wall and then you think the fight's going to end and it doesn't end, you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'm alive. I guess I'm okay. Let's keep moving.
He's a dog, man. What a dog Fluffy is.
Yeah.
And also, Robocop probably trained himself.
Yeah, Robocop for sure thought, with that flurry that he threw, I think he threw like 40, 50 punches in that last round. I'm sure.
Big
shot
hook
lands.
off the break there for Fluffy.
There you go. Switch to your southpaw.
Yeah, do not let him kick that calf at all costs.
Yeah.
What an amazing turn of events here.
He's got Robocop backing up to the cage right where he wants him. Now there's your
That was a
telegraph
little
that a little bit.
telegraphed and Robocop saw it, but Fluffy is Robocop seems to be fading a little bit.
Throw the hands, feint the takedown, throw more hands, and when they're occupied with blocking those, that's when you change levels.
Thank you guys for letting me know that the stream is good. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, this is pretty wild, man.
It's not a Rocky comeback anymore. It's a Fluffy comeback.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is I don't think either of the first two rounds were 10-8s, right?
No.
So, and Fluffy's winning this round.
Oh, big elbow into another hook. Oh, man, right in that dirty boxing range where Fluffy just thrives.
And I picked Fluffy by fourth round TKO. I said he's going to wear Robocop down. I wasn't expecting this type of fight, but in a weird way, who knows?
Yeah,
maybe I could come back and nail my pick.
Yeah, he's got to get rid of the big man though, because Robocop, he can change a fight with one single shot. I mean, look at what he was doing with those calf kicks.
Yeah. And it's still yet to be seen if Fluffy can absorb another one of those calf kicks and still continue.
Yeah. Nice uppercut from Robocop.
Yeah,
Lands a 2 on the break.
Couple nice close shots there by Robocop.
I love that Fluffy is just committed to the southpaw stance. Just do it. Yeah, there you go. Use your jab hand that's now in the back and change those angles. Disrupt the timing. Change your tempo. All that stuff. Oh, beautiful. Oh, he was so close.
Yeah, Robocop's got really good takedown defense here.
Yeah, he must just feel like a statue.
I'm sure he feels like an absolute cinder block.
Yeah.
Somebody asked who's winning. Chris says, definitely RoboCop. We're 3 rounds in, and it's 2 rounds to 1.
Did RoboCop win round 1?
Oh, I think so. Well,
no, I think Fluffy won round 1.
Well, I guess that's fair. Yeah.
And he's winning round 3. So I would say Fluffy, if he wins this round, is up 2 rounds to 1. And it's a very clear round for RoboCop in round 2.
Yeah, I guess in my mind, I was just like, Fluffy didn't win round 1 because he didn't get to implement his game plan, but still he had the cage, up against the cage time. It wasn't really a whole lot, but far side ankle. Look at that. Look at the balance from Rodrigues.
And a smile on Fluffy Hernandez's face. Just like, all right, I'm in it. I'm in the shits.
Look at this. So significant strikes landed, far more for RoboCop.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, we probably actually, guys, are 1 round to 1 round going in, or in this third, and Hernandez is definitely winning this round. You see, he switches right back to southpaw again. Good body kick there for RoboCop,
and he's naturally going back to ortho, and he's like, "Oh wait, I can't do that."
Aaron says, "I'm in the bathroom because of some bad Chinese food. What would you score the fight?"
Oh man,
dude, that's the worst. Sorry to hear that. 1 round to 1 round, and this round is heading in the direction of Hernandez as well.
Might I ask what was on the menu? Because I'll have to avoid that dish.
True News
Hopefully
says
not
how many
Generals.
takedowns by Fluffy. He's attempted a whole bunch of them, but he only really has gotten 1 good one. You could give round 2 10-8, in my opinion, says Base Volk. Yeah, it was teetering on a 10-8.
You know what Chinese dish always makes me think of? I'm going to have a stomachache. Is sweet and sour pork. Just the word sour. And it's delicious, right? It tastes good, but for some reason I'm like, oh, that just sounds like it would wreck my stomach. Oh, cream of some young guy.
Not quite. But yeah, sorry you're going through that, Aaron. It's and to happen during a main event too, that sucks.
Yeah. Pause the TV.
Orange chicken and vegetable chow mein is what he had. Dude.
Chow fun.
Yikes.
Hey, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Maybe a little kung pao.
I love Chinese food, by the way. But
we are part Chinese on our dad's side of the family.
That's actually a true story. Our great grandmother was Cantonese, but
that side of our family is 100% fresh off the boat Chinese. But I never got sick eating their food. Mushu chicken.
I love a mushu. Yeah,
mushu
the
goes
wrap,
hard.
Those are good. All right, guys, here we are, round 4.
A poo-poo platter? A poo-poo platter's sick. That's what he's having for dessert.
See, this is, okay. So now getting serious for a second as RoboCop lands a beautiful lead hook there on Fluffy that backed him up. Nice stuff of a takedown there by Rodrigues.
Yeah.
Nice sort of overhand there. Okay, Fluffy put that other leg back in front for a minute, and good pickup there by RoboCop to immediately go. See, as soon as he goes back to orthodox, Rodrigues throws that low calf kick, which is exactly what he should do.
He's anticipating
starting to pour
on. Man. This is a fun stylistic matchup, though, because you got the guy who can't afford to sit and plot and throw big strikes, and so he's got to use his speed. And then you've just got this juggernaut that refuses to go anywhere but right into your face.
Just a big old fella with thunderous shots.
Yeah, it's like a Mike Tyson Punch-Out character where it's like, yeah, he's slow, but you cannot afford to get hit by him.
Yeah, you don't want to take too many RoboCop shots. Nice straight there by Fluffy, though, and immediately returned by Rodrigues.
They should remake that movie Paul Blart Mall Cop, but do Paul Blart RoboCop.
Somebody asked, is Fluffy up 2-1? Yes, I believe he is. But RoboCop had by far the closest fight finishing sequences there. Oh, he's got to get back to southpaw.
Yeah, he didn't fall down, so that's an improvement.
Yeah, but it's still damaged. Like the damage hasn't healed that quickly.
Yeah, and we got some blood leaking off of RoboCop's face.
Base said Nick talking about poo-poo platters while Steven trying to be serious. You can't get this in here. No, you cannot get this anywhere else. This is like It doesn't stop when the cameras turn off either. This has been our whole life.
Yeah.
I get a little more unhinged off camera. I guess I'm just older, and I try to be a little bit more buttoned up. But
No, it's John Anik and DC. You'll hear DC talking about food in the city that they're in, and John Anik's like, all right, let me get this read.
You know what's so funny, because when I went to Louisiana to call fights, I was the U. Like I was brought in as the color, and the guy TJ DeSantis was the play-by-play. And so I was like, oh wow, okay, big overhand there by Robocop, right back to the calf kick. So I was like, I need to channel my inner Nick for this one and start talking about food and my non-existent dating life, because I'm married, and what can I do to channel my inner Nick there?
Yeah.
And so Fluffy is starting to get worn down a little bit here. Still landing some shots though.
Yeah, he's just got to fight intelligently. You don't have to win every minute of the round. You need to find your spots within the round where you can do really well. And if you're injured like this in a calf, or you're just taking too much damage, you kind of need to use those other 30-second moments to breathe and get the blood flowing into those muscles that are hurting and all that stuff. But then find your big moments.
Oh, right back to that calf kick. That one.
He's got to get out of that position. He cannot fight in orthodox right now. He needs to stay in
Rodrigues
southpaw.
is even finding the kick in the southpaw stance as well, because Fluffy's legs are a little collected.
And it's mostly when he's getting square. Yeah.
Oh, Rodrigues beautiful. Is really starting to tee off now. Fluffy with the body lock, but
man. Yeah, Fluffy's not impressing me as much with his takedowns. And wow, he's doubled up Hernandez on strikes landed to the head, way more to the body, 37-4. And then Fluffy, oddly enough, has not thrown a single strike, or hasn't landed one to the legs.
Yeah. This has got to be one of those fights where for Fluffy, like even if he pulls something out here, this is one of those wars that an eye-opening experience that 185 might be a hair too big for him, number one.
Yeah.
And because Robocop's a big guy, but he's not as big as DDP, right?
He'd be perfect for my 175 division, the new welterweight, right?
He's your 175 guy all day. But like, this is one of those wars when you think back on Fluffy's career, like, man, that one took a lot out of him. This is going to be one of those.
Yeah.
Because he's taken some serious damage in this one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does if he loses this one.
I think he's got to go to 170. I really do.
Yeah.
10 seconds left in round number 4, guys.
I think not just technically, but
having
that dog in you.
Another takedown.
Probably got from training with Sean too.
Yeah. Sean Strickland's a dog. Hey, he helped Robocop up, and they got one final round left to go. So.
Base thinks Robo's bigger than DDP. Do you really think so? I don't know.
It said 6'3", and I don't think
DDP's like he's like a refrigerator, bro.
Yeah,
he may be taller, but you may be right on that. But I feel like DDP he's just a thick customer, man.
Yeah, and I've seen Yuri in person, and Yuri's a huge guy, but I think DDP's around that same size.
Okay, so Sean said the same thing. Robo's absolutely bigger than DDP. Yeah, maybe I'm off on that one. I don't know. I always feel like Drickus is just so massive.
Yeah,
right?
Well, he's just built different. But yeah, I think Robocop is a true 6'3".
Yeah,
and he's 215 pounds probably in this cage right now. So that means he probably gets up to about 225.
His coach or his corner guy has got to be Sean Strickland's brother.
It could be.
Just freaking like Sean Strickland.
Chris said his corner guy looks like Sean Strickland's brother.
And Edmund Shabazian looked like one of them, maybe, which that would make sense, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point too, Base. These, Sean, and who knows what's going to happen at 185. But Fluffy, even if he wins tonight, is still a ways away from a title shot in this division. He's going to need a good 6 months to, before we see him in the octagon again.
He might leave on crutches.
Yeah, he's going to. Sometimes those kicks can tear stuff in the knee, and telling what he's suffered here tonight.
Go with a little oil check defense is Robocop. Carlos Prates, a secret weapon against Islam Makhachev.
All right, Fluffy. Still can, oddly enough, can still win this fight, right? Yeah. On sheer points alone, even though the big damage has been done by Rodrigues.
Oh, you got to get that leg out of harm's way.
Right back into southpaw for
Yeah,
Hernandez.
stay in southpaw. Don't get square even.
That's a good question, Based. Do you have it 2-2, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably is. I mean, even though Robocop has had this fight almost finished a couple of times.
Yeah, no, he won round 2 and 4, and I think Fluffy won rounds 1 and 3.
This is just a dog fight. This is just pure will from Fluffy here.
And this is what we expect out of main event fighters. These two guys, this is what we call job security. Dana doesn't want these two guys going anywhere. Will either of them be champion? Probably not. But you know what? Robocop, he's so
How
young.
old is he?
He's only like 30.
He looks like he's 40.
He looks like he's 60. But
that's I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, he's in incredible shape. He just looks older, you know.
Yeah, and stress is what ages you. And when you're training MMA, I don't look 32. Apparently, according to my friends at the gym, not Main
You got
Street.
called Gandalf in the chat one time.
Yeah, I believe it. And I went to dinner the other night with friends, and they're about 35 to 42 years old, and they're like, "By the way, Nick, how old are you?" And I was like, "I'm 32." And they're like, "Are you serious? We thought you were 45." And I was like,
What the?
I'm the youngest one of all of us, and you guys think I'm older than y'all. So
You don't look 45, bro.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I
Robo's 34. Okay.
okay. 34 is a little bit more reasonable, but still, he does not look younger than you.
No, yeah, I'm 4 years older than Robo.
But training 2 times a day and living that stressful life of a fighter, it just is. I mean, it weighs on you.
Look at this, man. This is going right down to the wire here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's round 5 there.
Yeah. Round 5, 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining right now. This should be fight of the night. I know that other fight.
Yeah, this is definitely fight of the night.
Stan was wild, but these guys deserve $100,000 each.
Nice
in
short
extra
elbow
bonus.
there.
Oh,
2 short
beautiful.
elbows for Fluffy there.
Keep going. Keep going.
Let's see if you. Yeah, I think he kind of needs a finish here.
It's crazy because even though he's landed so many good punches to the face, Robocop never looks like dazed or knocked loose. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, this is
Dude is made of granite.
this is a war, man.
Yeah. That's the position I was talking about. Get that head under Robocop's chin. It'll break his ability to keep his own posture.
1 minute and 30 seconds left here, guys.
Beautiful combinations. They're in the pocket now.
Oh, okay. That calf kick put him down.
You can't afford to be on the ground for the remaining.
Yeah, I think
minute and 15.
Fluffy's gonna be leaving in some crutches tonight, boys.
Yeah, that sucks. But Robocop has a good game plan, and he knows when to throw that kick. I mean, that's what 7 drops.
Yeah.
He's dropped him now 7 times.
And he
with calf
times
kicks
it
alone.
beautifully as soon as Fluffy switches back even
Yeah.
momentarily to his natural stance.
He's paying good attention to when that stance comes, and he is taking over every opportunity he's got. But, I don't love the closed guard here to end out the round. Sure, the elbows from the bottom are great, but we got to work to get back up to our feet. Yeah,
Totally.
we got to work. We can't end the fight on our backs. Yeah, keep moving. And look, scramble and strike while you're
Robocop's
scrambling. But
doing a
don't
good
settle.
job passing. I mean, Fluffy's got a good butterfly guard there. He's trying to stay active with it. But like you said, we don't want to end this fight on our back.
No.
Scramble up with 20 seconds left and see if you can land another big flurry. It could be 2-2 in this round, but this round's definitely a Robocop, especially now. I mean, this is pretty much, if it wasn't already sealed, this is sealing it for Robocop.
Yeah.
A twister.
A Scottish twister.
Wow, what a fight, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, the main event delivers. We know that you can rely on these two
Yeah,
guys.
no question. That was a great fight, man.
What if he just kicked him in the calf one more time on his way back to his corner? Good game. Bang.
Really, really fun main event.
Awesome fight. And just to remind everybody, once we get the official score on this fight, we're going to close down and then 5-10 minutes later reopen a new live stream just so we have 2 separate videos. Makes it easier for the viewing. So don't think we're gone for the night, we're back. Just give us 10 minutes, same channel, hit refresh a couple times until the new live stream option pops up, and we'll give you an immediate reaction on this entire main card.
And Drizzy, you called that one right, dude. I'm not even going to argue with you there. But
don't argue with him. You might get the smoke next.
My predictions have been pretty good tonight, and I got most of them right. So if you want to pop in the chat next week, we can go prediction for prediction, and we'll see. You may beat me, but I may win too. So we'll see. Let's see. Sean says, if I have to guess, I'd say Robocop. Yeah, I think Robocop got the W. That's the right call. Either 3 rounds to 2 or 4 rounds to 1.
Yeah, neither guy will ever be champion, but I think that
but they'll be remembered for having a fun fight in Sacramento.
It may be split. Fluffy landed good shots in that last round.
Yeah.
And he did get taken down. But are we really going to say that the punches to the face that he landed in round 5 are less significant damage-wise than the 8th kick that dropped him with the calf?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
I don't know. I'm asking, what do you think?
I don't. I mean, I think that damage should be considered from the head down. Like, I think that hitting somebody in the head is worse than hitting them in the body, and then hitting them in the body is worse than hitting them in the leg.
Yeah.
And if you've already damaged the leg to the point where every time you touch it, they fall, it's a little less impressive, right? He didn't drop Fluffy with strikes to the face, but I still think he likely won.
For
Here
sure.
it comes.
Thank you, Ronnie. We'll get to that as soon as they do the interview, and then that'll be the last thing that we do, and then we'll cut and then give us 15 minutes, and we'll be back live again with our immediate recap.
All right, 49-46s. That's a little bit weird.
49-46. Yeah, it's just
and then 148-47.
49 4-1 is not a horrible call.
I thought he won. I thought Fluffy at least won round 1 and round 3.
All right.
Well-earned win.
Bisping
for
saying it
Robocop.
was an insane fight, insane action. Robocop speaks better English than I realized.
Yeah.
So thanking Jesus and talking to the crowd, and then giving all credit to Anthony Hernandez for being a warrior, which he absolutely was.
Yeah.
He's saying he fought one of the best cardio guys and showed that he can go a full 5 rounds. That is true.
Yeah. Aljamain Sterling, great fight. 100% dog in both guys. I couldn't agree more. Awesome main event.
He said, Bisping asked him who he wants.
Dricus Duplessis, where are you?
Okay. Now I think Dricus is a little high up in the rankings.
Yeah.
And he's got 2 wins over the current champion. So Dricus is in a good place. But if he gets that fight, I guess we can finally settle the debate as to who's bigger. Robocop or DDP.
And how big is Henry Hoof? Because he's taller than Robocop.
Yeah, the Dutch they're big fellas.
They're the biggest humans in the world.
They're the tallest humans in the world, the Dutch, yeah.
On average.
Anthony Hernandez said, what a tough SOB.
Yeah, he gave it his all. Fought like a dog, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Needs more time, needs to get back to work.
Yeah, we'll save this for the post-fight conversation. And guys, if you're just hopping in here now, we're going to cut the live here in just a second, and then we're going to go live again. Give us about 10 minutes. We're going to give our immediate thoughts and reactions from the card. That'll be about a 30-minute live stream. Those have been pretty good lately. We've been enjoying engaging with you guys in those. But real quick before we do that, Ronnie, thank you again so much. Let's hit this one before we sign off.
And everybody show up for the next one. It's happening in 10 minutes.
10 minutes, come back and hang out with us. We're going to give you our full, from the hips, uncensored thoughts from the entire Sacramento main card. All right, Nick, your girl, 2026 Mackenzie Dern versus 2015 Joanna and JJ. Now, what y'all might not know is that before Nick's love was Mackenzie Dern, his original love was Joanna Champion.
For MMA girls.
MMA girls.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a hard one. This is one that Nick is going to be dancing in his seat on.
Yes.
Let me see here real quick. Let me just pull up okay, so this year's Mackenzie Has Mackenzie fought? Did she
This
win
was
her
the-
belt this year, or did she win it at the end of last year?
I feel like they said this was 2026 first female title fight was UFC 330.
Okay, maybe she won it at the end.
So it must have been Abu Dhabi, was it? that they did
No,
that
yeah,
fight?
good memory there, Nick. Verna
December?
Jandiroba in October in Abu Dhabi.
October.
So Jillian Rob, so the Mackenzie Dern that we just saw
Yeah.
versus let's see, what
What
year is
year?
it, Chris?
Right now.
No, I know what year it is right now. What year for Joanna Jędrzejczyk? Chris really thinks I'm stupid, y'all. Okay, what year is it again?
I always do that to people when I have to sign paperwork, and I'm like, "Hey, what's the date?" And I'm like, they'll be like, "Oh, it's the 15th." I'm like, "Of what month?" And then they'll be like, "August," and I'll go, "Okay, what year?"
Okay, she
Where am I?
she knocked out Carla Esparza. She knocked out Jessica Penne, and she decisioned Valerie Letrano, which I can't offhand recall that fight. So, yeah, I mean, that wasn't really champion Joanna there. That wasn't the Joanna champion.
I want to give it Joanna champion versus Mackenzie
she
Dern
became champion in the next fight against. Or no, I'm sorry. She my bad. She won the belt against the Cookie Monster. So those were actually all defenses. My bad. I don't know what I was looking at there. So that's basically her getting the belt and then first two title defenses. I don't know. When Joanna was the champion and defending up until she lost to Rose.
and again and again and again and again.
She was something else. Mackenzie could definitely submit her. There would be the threat there.
Yeah.
But Joanna had pretty reasonable takedown defense, and she was electric on the feet, and she was vicious. She threw to knock you out. She didn't throw just to win a decision. But
I do love Mackenzie Dern. I find her entertaining. I think that she's a dog, even though she has a skill set that is largely centered around grappling. She throws hands. She is about fighting. She is not one of these specialists that shies away from the strikes because she knows jiu-jitsu. So she would try to bring the fight. And I think in the modern era, the girls are just getting better. Now, Joanna's striking was way ahead of her time for sure, but she obviously had a deficit on the ground. I would love to see that fight. If we had a time machine, we could make it. But Joanna, I think, may still go down as my favorite female fighter.
She was exciting. She was a lot of fun.
I really enjoyed the fight style. I love the volume striking. I really liked Mariana Rodriguez. Is that her name?
Yeah, she was fun. Yeah,
she was fun, and she kind of felt to me like Joanna 2.0.
I don't ever think she was as good as Joanna.
She never as good, but the style was fun. Punches and bunches, nasty little, striking in the strawweight division. But I think Mackenzie Dern would probably beat Joanna back then. But I mean, you can never count out Joanna's volume striking. I just don't know. Well, I don't know because we've seen Mackenzie Dern pieced up on the feet.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick from Ronnie, I'm going to get closer so I can read everything. During her 2026 campaign, Dern executed 4 landed takedowns out of 6 attempts, threatened 1 submission attempt, giving Dern a 66.7 takedown accuracy in 26. However, Joanna Champion's overall takedown defense was an excellent 93.9%.
Yeah.
In those fights, she defended 31 out of 33, and Dern landed a total of 210 significant strikes out of 445, 47.2% accurate, and 53.2% accurate for Joanna. With the output, look at that, 399 out of 750. Yeah, I got to go. Dern, let me just see what else you wrote here. Dern attempted 1 submission in her 25 minutes of cage time in 2026. To put that into perspective, Valerie only attempted 1 submission across her entire multi-year UFC run, and Esparza only attempted 3 over the span of a decade. I'm going Joanna Champion. Do you want to give your thoughts on that one, Ronnie, or you want to hold it to yourself? Cool either way, but I'm going Joanna Champion, getting the belt and defending the first 2 times. What say you, Nick?
Joanna Champion, probably. I'm leaning towards her slightly, but styles make matchups, and Mackenzie is down to close distance. I worry that a 115 girl like Joanna wouldn't have the power to stop Mackenzie, which means she'd have to deal with her for 25 minutes and deal with the takedown attempts and the chain wrestling. Obviously, 2026 Mackenzie Dern isn't just a submission girl. She's actually very good at throwing her hands, leading in with wrestling to get to her grappling. It's a toss-up to the highest level. That's maybe the best one so far. I like that one a lot. Maybe a little bit of bias comes in. I think I'd go Joanna champion, but I certainly am a fan of Mackenzie Dern, and I love the progression that she's showing these days. I know she's not winning via submissions as the champion, but still a great fighter.
Okay, so Ronnie disagrees. Mackenzie Dern takes her down and no problem gets the submission. That is possible. That is the problem with Joanna. She could now again, but you said she had 93.9% takedown defense. And Mackenzie, okay, so here's a slight disagreement here, right? Because Mackenzie is not we saw better wrestling this time around, but she's not like a Tatiana Suarez, right? So I'm just trying to picture her getting Joanna down and how she does it. I think I'm going to respectfully disagree with you on this one, Ronnie, but I certainly appreciate all of them tonight. And you actually got Nick to pick more of the old school people than I would have thought. So good call on that. And guys,
we're closing out this
We're going to close this one out. Give us 10 to 15 minutes. We'll be back again with our immediate thoughts and recap. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you soon.
Peace.